there's always a hope. Rise and fight.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to BSL16. Today, joining me on the commentary desk is my good buddy, Nyoken. Nyoken, what's up, man?
What's up, Machine? I'm doing good. And as a Terran player, I gotta say, this is the match of probably the tournament for me. So I'm very, very excited for this one.
Yeah, man, you've been hyped about Mihu from the start of this event, honestly, this season. You know, he's had a couple great performances the last couple seasons of BSL, man. I mean, literally, his nickname is amongst the Chinese community is like Mihu the Great, right? Like, and that's for a reason. The guy is such a consistent killer as far as top tier Terrans go, man, and he's going to be bringing it to Dewalt today. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. We know Dewalt is very strong against all the races, taking out Sziky yesterday. But Koreans have told me easily his best matchup is versus Terran, and you can see in the statistics there, 86% win rate versus Terran. However, what's that?
What's that?
Does that
It looks
say
like there's
100%?
three numbers there. 100%. Oh yeah, I think it's 100%.
Yeah, 100% versus Protoss. This guy doesn't lose versus Protoss. And even though I'm a big Dewalt fan, I think he's super strong versus Terran. Mihu, he's got so many versatile builds now. He's got the 4-fact timing. He's got the 4-fact, hey, you better build units, but oh, look at that, I just took an expansion. So now you're maxed out on Gateway Man versus Terran. Not what you want. And then this season, he's brought out the 2-1. He's been rushing Armory faster. We could even see 3-2. This guy, you can't just go into the game thinking he's going to timing attack you or 4-fact you anymore. You got to be very worried about the more modern Flash style 2-1, which is impossible almost for Protoss players to stop.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see the evolution of his play because, you know, as you said, up until this season, he was kind of known for that 4-fact. It was silly because he was so good at it. Like, a lot of pros could expect it coming and still not be able to stop it, but since then, he's kind of just like, adjusted his builds. He's got a more modern style. He knows how to sit on 3-4 bases, get those upgrades, and he's even more of a threat this season. So it's gonna be a tough one for Dewalt here. We see their map picks. Obviously today going to be a full best of 7 set, the first of this season actually. Looks like map 1 will be kicking off on Power Bond. So how do you feel about that?
I think that's a good map for both sides. I think this is a map where Terran can easily get not just 3 bases, but 4 bases. You know, you sit outside your natural, and, left side and right side, generally there's a closed base. So I feel like if we get into late game, Terran's going to be in a pretty darn good spot. 4 base at least. Potentially 5 base, you don't even have to move. But this is a 3-player map, and we know Protoss, for the majority of the early mid stages of the game, has map control. And on 3-player maps, if you're Terran and you can't get past 4 or 5 bases, there's a real scenario where Dewalt could, I guess, just theoretically make Mihu mine out, because 9 base Protoss or whatever, that's going to be pretty nuts unless you're able to deny the other main, which is going to be pretty tough. But, you know, knowing Mihu, knowing how he loves the timings and now loves the 2-1 timing, I don't know if we're going to get that far. I'm expecting just a slugfest in the mid and early late game stages.
Yeah, I do as well. You know, as you said, like Powerbond's such a great map for really drops, honestly for both players, but obviously that comes into play a little more on the Protoss side of things with those early, you know, Reaver drops, which are so common to stop, you know, those early mid-game Terran timing pushes, like a 4-fact, which Mihu, you know, obviously has been known for. We were just talking about that. So yeah, you know, I think it's also a great map for carrier as well, right? Should it go super late game, a lot of neutral ground to hide those carriers over. So yeah, you know, both these guys are going to have a lot in their arsenal to deal with, you know, as well as to, you know, put into play here. So I'm kind of, yeah, just excited to see how this one goes.
Is any map not good for carriers, Machine? Is there any map where you think to yourself, oh, you know what? You know why I lost? It's because I built carriers.
It's because I built carriers. You know, fair point. I can't really think of one.
It
Maybe
is true.
Circuit breakers? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is true. Circuit breakers and Powerbond do have open mids, but even those, you know, you don't have to fight in the middle. I mean, I know that's impossible to think, right? But you can just sit over, you know, expansions, just be like, nope, that's a dead command center. Oh, that's a dead refinery. Those are win conditions. If you force Terran to not be able to mine gas, could lead to victory. I was gonna say something. Okay, I remember now. Drops, very meta these days for Protoss. You know, Mass Drop Man. If you guys have watched Mini play, he loves drops. A lot of people try and imitate Mini. I don't think he can be imitated. This guy's next level. But one thing that Mihu does consistently in every game I watch is he is very diligent with laying mines in his base. Like, very diligent. He's got mines everywhere. And he almost always builds a Wraith along with the turret ring. And I think if you're going to go Mass Shuttle Man, that's going to be a mistake, because I feel like at least one shuttle is going to get instantly killed off. And then you're going to also have to try and avoid the mine. So I'm hoping that Dewalt doesn't get baited into, oh, Powerbond's a great drop map. But Mihu's just very good versus that.
Yeah, he is. And I know that's part of Dewalt's arsenal, right? Like, I think we've all seen Dewalt stream quite a bit. He will mix that in on occasion, but I don't really feel like it's a staple kind of style play for him. But, you know, it would be good on this map, so I kind of like where your head's at here. But yeah, folks, as you know, once we see this screen, both of our players are ready and set to go here. It's going to be Dewalt facing off against Mihu, Game 1 on Powerbond. And spawning top right as the green Terran, the great one, it is Mihu.
And in the bottom middle, in the pink, we've got Dewalt. You know what, Machine? I'm just going to say it. I just want to start it off with a flat-out 12 Nexus. Tell Mihu, hey, you know what? I'm not afraid of you. You want to punish this 12 Nexus? Prove to me that you can punish it. So I want to see that 12 Nexus from the get-go and just see what Mihu does.
I'd love to see it, honestly. I feel like 12 Nexus isn't something Dewalt puts a ton into his arsenal. You know, he's kind of that mindset, I feel like, of Bonyth in this matchup. Like, he just wants to play a kind of standard game, do like the one gate Nexus into, you know, kind of robo style play. But, you know, we could see it. Nah, it looks like a gateway. I would have loved to see it, man. You know what I want to see? I want to see a 4-fact from Mihu, man.
4-fact?
He hasn't done it in quite some time, but, you know, it's one of those things that, like, it was working completely fine for him last season, and then this season we barely really see him added into his play. And I think it's still going to be a major threat here for Dewalt.
Well, no 12 Nexus, so I'm a bit sad, but we still have the option for that 4-fact that you're talking about, and it is, you know, noteworthy if he has not been pulling out the 4-fact. you know, he may be thinking along the lines of, hey, don't forget I got this. And he may actually pull it out. He's also got, I think, pretty good spawns. You know, close spawn. I guess they're really the same distance, but just looking at the minimap, to me, it looks like this would be an easier way to push, just in my opinion. So we could see it. Probe is going to get the first scout off, and that's going to be great, of course. Going to confirm it's not gasless. Meanwhile, oh, well, what's an SCV doing, Machine? What are we doing here? This proxy fact, there's no way. There's no way.
No way. That was an odd scout. Yeah, I'm not sure what he was maybe looking for there. That wasn't the other natural, obviously. But I guess he's recognized just due to the probe scout timing that he's got to be 6 o'clock. I mean, it's my best guess here, but...
Yeah, I guess he probably would have expected to see the Zealot intercept the SCV, but, you know, it's not always what Protoss does. They don't always have to go with Zealot. So an interesting scout pattern. I would have to rewatch this to see exactly what he was looking for with this move. But this is actually going to be 2 Zealots, and this is going to put a lot of pressure on Mihu, especially since that ramp is completely open. There's no Sim City at all. There's not even a Sim City with the refinery or the factory.
Does have 3 Marines, though. They immediately get on top of that Zealot, and it looks like Dewalt wants to just kind of prevent the bunker from being built here. Probably a good call. Just waiting for that second Zealot to regroup here. Mihu, though, getting a full scout. Saw the core. I don't believe he's seen anything spinning. Oh, wow. Zealot almost gets a Marine kill there. But looks like Mihu doing a good job with the control early on.
Well, Terrans these days often build the Vulture instantly when they see... Oh, look at that! Ooh. Zealot! The jab! And there's the Vulture that I was talking about. So the Vulture is going to clean this up. I would say, well, if he gets the Vulture, that's mega worth. I would say this was pretty even trade despite losing 2 Zealots. You did force out an additional Marine. You did kill, what, 3 of them? So now, you know, there is a real threat. If Dewalt's channeling his inner Ghost to Dark right here, we could have the run by.
Yeah, we could. He does get on top of the Vulture. Vulture, though, is repaired up. Will fall back slightly. But it looks like, for now, Mihu has kind of stabilized.
I would really love the run by. As soon as this goon gets here, run by and pick off the SCV at the natural. Because tank takes so long to build, and you know this guy rushed the Vulture. So it's not like you could stay in the natural forever, but you could 100% at least knock this SCV down. Now the Vulture's going to get out, and that can be scary for Protoss, but Protoss, you know, is going to have a third goon out pretty soon, so not really much to worry about. He did skip range, though, I think. That's a pretty fast robo follow-up, and he is floating a lot of gas.
It looks like eBay already almost complete, though, from Mihu, so he is prepared for this. Ooh, nice ramp block from Dewalt, preventing that Vulture from getting any further intel or probe kills. Yeah, I think the run-by with 2 Dragoons would have been pretty scary here, especially given that the Vulture ran past, but Dewalt not taking that opportunity.
Yeah, I was really surprised once the Vulture went by that he didn't go for it. You know, you definitely don't want to lose your goons, right? But you know that you killed a lot of the Marines, so the DPS is going to be lacking. But you know, didn't want to risk it, so that's fine. But versus someone like me, who I feel like you gotta try and get any small leads that you can get. But we do actually have fast Reaver. eBay's already done though, so turret ring should be coming up pretty soon. Actually, that's going to be a turret in by his command center, so it's actually going to be more Terror-esque, where Terror builds 3 turrets, one at his main, one at his natural, and then one in the center of his base. So not going to be a turret ring this time.
Huh, that is kind of unique. Maybe he's expecting more like DT play or something like that early on, or maybe just wants to be prepared for it. Ooh, Vulture might go down here from Mihu. That's a big pickup from Dewalt. Suddenly there's not nearly as much vision on the map for Mihu. Can't really anticipate that drop going into the main. So that was good. That was really good there.
Yeah, also didn't get any mines down. You know, the mines don't necessarily have to connect on anything, but they give you a little bit of vision. You know, you could get lucky that the shuttle runs over it and you can start moving units into position. And there is the third turret that I was talking about. But you can see there's a probably small gap between both of them where the shuttle can get in. So That may be a little bit unfortunate. I was actually expecting the turret to be a little bit closer towards the refinery. So this shuttle might actually deal damage, and with really not much anti-air, like no Goliath, not a high marine count, this shuttle could get damage done.
Mihu did have a tank in position here, but yeah, Reaver is dropped immediately, starts targeting down that turret, and once this turret falls, there's really not going to be anything keeping... Whoa, tank's not in range.
Yeah, I can't believe that wasn't in range, and there's the unload, and that means... Reaver, you gotta shoot, man. He's gonna get a tank, though. Well, maybe
two
he's
tanks.
Not.
I think he's gonna get 2 tanks here, but the other tank is weak as well.
Oh, is it? Oh, that was good micro.
NW_red.
Well,
still, this is very disruptive here for
Yep.
Mihu.
Yep, behind this, Dewalt is taking a third base, so he's really scaling his macro too. It's so annoying to build turrets and then they don't complete like that, because the shuttle just runs rampant like this. And he did. Oh, he got the Reaver, but he did get another tank. So I would say that was decently worth in terms of, you know, Reaver for tank. He got 2 of them, but yeah, that was a big loss to still lose that Reaver.
Yeah, unfortunate too. I thought he definitely could have picked it up, but still, I mean, 2 tanks. At the same time, he's been securing his own mineral-only third. Mihu lost a lot of mining time in the main. I think that was very worth here for Dewalt.
Yeah, and I like how Dewalt's prioritizing minerals, because versus someone that you know likes the 4-fact timing, you just need a lot of stuff, and you don't want to go into a situation where you just don't have any mineral income. You can't actually build units. So at his natural, he has his gas, but I don't think he's really mining there. He probably just completed it a couple minutes ago. So he needs to start mining now, because now you can see he's got a lot of gates, but doesn't have actual gas. So at this point, we need to get on there, and there he goes.
Yeah, it does start mining that natural gas. Looks like the Shuttle Reaver just okay with chasing around these vultures. Obviously, Mihu has adjusted, has a little bit more, turret ring, mines placed inside the main. As you stated, he's so good and so diligent about that mine placement, which is not an easy thing to do, right? There's already so much for Terran to do here. Ooh, good vulture run by, picking off a few probes at that mineral only there as well for Mihu. I feel like he's very known for his vulture harass and vulture control, right?
Oh yeah, his vulture control is by far the best. He's diligent with the mines, but what separates him from every other Terran is if you watch him in big battles, he's always got the vultures on hold position. He's always got them in the right spot. He's never someone that 1A, 2A, 3As, and then, oh look, all my vultures died to goons. That just doesn't happen. So really good control there, and actually, you know, in Mihu's main, I've been looking like, okay, where's the starport man? Where's the starport man? There it is. But this is super late. Like, the science facility, not going to be anytime soon. So this is not going to be a 2-1 timing. This is going to be an expansion like that. But this is going to be him just, you know, giving a lot of map control to Dewalt right now.
Oh no!
Oh no!
He does cancel. He killed the command center. Wow. I thought both the Reavers were going to go down, and then they killed a command center. Holy shit. That was nuts.
Yeah,
big pickup there from Dewalt.
If this was any other Terran, where I'm watching Terran have super late 2-1, lose 2 tanks, and lose his command center, I'd be thinking, okay, this is unplayable. Like, Terran just is so dead right now. But since it is Mihu, maybe he can make a miracle happen, but Dewalt, you can't lose these things, man. These are so expensive. The shuttles, 2 shuttles by themselves are equal to a command center.
Yeah, clearly he just wanted to group up for a big drop like usual in the main. Lost both the Reavers there for nothing. So first blunder really from Dewalt in this game so far.
And what did I say before the game started, Machine? I don't want to see Shuttle Man, and that's what I'm seeing. He's got a 3rd shuttle. He lost his Reavers, and even if he unloaded them in the main, he would have unloaded on top of 3 mines. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I did not want him to get debated into Shuttle Man on not circuit breakers, on power bond. He's still got a massive or somewhat decent lead here, but this attack is not going to work. He needs to just take bases, scale his tech, which he is with the Stargate.
Oh, looks like he might be going for an engage here. Shuttles diving on top of the siege tank line. One falling immediately, though.
Good.
I mean,
you see these vultures, man? Did you see any of them die to goons? Like, he just doesn't lose vultures, ever.
Yeah, that was, I mean, he traded a good 25 supply for like 10 for Mihu. It felt worth for Mihu there.
That was definitely worth for Mihu. Now he's going to get his third base easily. He's now got his science facility. So if we look at how the game is unfolding, Arbiter Tribunal's only halfway done. Arbiter is like one of the longest units to build in the game. And then, you know, they're not necessarily useless because they still cloak units, but Stasis then takes another minute. So the 2-1 is actually going to line up with maybe one Stasis. Terran is not scared of one Stasis. Like, they're just not. So this is still a good position for Mihu.
Yeah, he's being very diligent, slowly moving those siege tanks in position to secure this mineral only, placing mines, turrets ahead of time, using that barracks as well to spot. He's just doing this very safely, feels like. And I mean, we're seeing him catch back up in supply. Yeah, it is. He's also going Arbiter. There's a chance he goes for like a recall in the main too.
Yeah, I don't mind recall, but seeing all these shuttles get built, they haven't really been useful at all other than the first drop. This is a lot of resources going to minerals, and Protoss is almost on 5 bases. When you're facing like 5 base Protoss and you scan their main and you see they only have 8 gates, I gotta tell you, Machine, I'm thinking to myself, thank you. I got 8 factories, man. 8 factories beat 8 gateways. You're only scared once Protoss starts reaching like 15 gates or something. Something insane where like as soon as a fight ends, like they're instantly remaxed. But if you just see this, you're feeling pretty damn good.
Mihu started those upgrades at his natural like fairly quickly on here. Do you think he's maybe content with sitting, taking a 4th base and waiting for 3-2?
Nah, he's going to attack at 2-1. He scanned and saw that the Stargate's late. That's going to be the power spike. He's going to know that this guy can only have 1 stasis available. And then while he's pushing, he's going to expand like he always does. That's 100% what's going to happen. Also, he's approaching max. He's got almost double Vessel. So if he can land EMP on the Arbiter, it's going to be basically Gateway Man versus 2-1. And anybody that's played Terran versus Protoss, you know that's not a winning combination if you don't have any stasis. And look at all those mines and turrets and Goliath setup. Like, this guy is just so airtight versus drops.
Yeah, man, he is prepared. Looks like Dewalt, though, one of the key things we talked about on this map is taking the other main for Protoss. He is in position. You know, there's a probe there. Nexus is down. He's getting those pylons up. Likely going to build some cannon gateway over there. But yeah, you called it, man. Go time. Here we go.
I like how he leaves a couple tanks, but if we look at what his tank count is, 10, that's really not that much. It's 15 minutes. There are games where I play and I have like 24 tanks or 20 tanks at this point. Like, this tank count is really, really low. Now, maybe because he scanned and saw the majority of the army is Zealots, but you're really looking for a higher tank count in this than this.
I mean, the map kind of plays its way out to be a big funnel, though. I'm not seeing a lot of great engagement points here for Dewalt. You know, he's really going to need those shuttles to Zealot bomb on top of this army.
Yeah, he's just trying to draw Terran out of position. That's how you beat Terran, is you catch them at a moment where they're not looking, whether it's, you know, they're not looking at their vessel and they can't cast EMP, whether it's they're not looking at their vultures. That's what he's trying to do. There's a reason when Flash off-races Protoss, he's just like, I'm avoiding the army. That's my whole strategy, just not fighting the tanks and vultures. And that's exactly what Dewalt is doing, but Mihu's just sitting here, man, and the bases are so close to each other, he can easily unsiege and get back into position whenever he wants.
Dewalt moving up towards the top left side of this map. Once again, Mihu, though, he's been diligent. He's left tanks in position. There's a depot wall here. Here we go. Looks like Dewalt is trying to run in. Stasis is down. Shuttles unloading. Storm on top of the mineral line here, going to clear plenty of SCVs. But here comes the great one, man. So many tanks, so many vultures coming in and clearing this army of Dewalt. And we've seen a big supply spike now from Dewalt.
Yeah, that was good defense from Mihu, and like I said, the lack of gates is really what's killing Dewalt here. Like, that was an okay attack, but we needed to insta remax, and we're not. Like, we've got like 20 or 25 supply. building up in our gateways right now. These top gateways at top left just came up, so I'm not even sure if there's really anything in production. We don't have stasis anymore, so this could just be a game-ending counterattack. Mihu also has a 4th base coming up at the same time. Those are great storms, but the Vulture control is just so insane. He loses the absolute minimum.
Yeah, it was very nice dodging there of those storms. EMP went off on the Arbiter as well, so that's going to prevent any stasis out of that Arbiter. Ooh, DT trying to run in, get a little bit of damage on the new base of Mihu, but unable to do so. And Mihu slowly moving forward here, trying to kill this mineral only, it looks like, of Dewalt first.
This is going to be so hard for Dewalt to stop. This is such a tiny choke, while also defending Mihu's 4th base, and your mineral only is at this direction. So this is just going to be a nightmare. Also, Mihu could take like the high ground at mid-right also, so take a 5th base while pushing. That's the dream scenario for you as Terran. Also, he hasn't lost any of his vessels. Meanwhile, the Arbiters, they're still alive, but they don't have energy right now. Luckily, Dewalt, he has remaxed. He does have 2-1 versus 2-1, which is actually surprisingly good. And the tank count doesn't look that menacing, but where are his units? Like, I'm looking at the map. Where's Protoss' supply?
It's in probes, I'm guessing. I mean, he's on, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 base, soon 7 base. He's got plenty of probes. Income is not the problem here. But yeah, I mean, there's not a ton of supply of units to work with.
He's gonna need to channel his inner mini right here with these shuttles. He's gonna have to hope he can find the angle where the Vulture or the Goliaths are out of position. There's really not that many, but instead he's gonna counterattack. I don't mind this. Dewalt has so many bases. This base doesn't matter. Just counterattack this guy. You know where all the tanks are. And that's what he's gonna do.
4 shuttles unloading zealots on top of the remaining tanks here. Storm goes down. Wow, it is a pretty good storm. And suddenly this mineral only of Mihu is under fire.
Yeah, and remember, his main and nat are mined out. So right now he's mining on 1 base because the 5th base is just now coming up. And Mihu had a 4K bank like a minute and a half ago. Now he's at sub 500, whereas Dewalt was broke. Now he's not broke. That was a great stasis, but he's still not feeling confident to move in. Not getting the command center, that's a big deal. And we've got another shuttle drop here. It's going to be a double Reaver. This is something Mini has been doing often, is Reaver play at like 20 minutes. Just consistent usage of them. But this is so hard to work, and you can see right there losing one already.
Yeah, it just takes so much control, right? Especially at this point in the game, 20 minutes in. There's just so much to do. It's kind of impressive that he's able to do this. And it looks like Mihu's decided to stop pushing towards the main, towards the natural, which will at least allow Dewalt to continue rallying out, his units here. Oh, this could be a big pickup.
He needs this. This is the catch that he was looking for. He drew a lot of the defense back to that. Oh, look at the Reaver at the minerals. Now this is good harass. Oh, how did that dud? Come on, Blizzard. There's got to be some justice. There it is.
There's the justice, man. Scarab getting quite a few SCVs here. Mihu's bank is down to nothing at this point. He does have plenty of SCVs at the natural, though. But it looks like Dewalt trying to continue streaming in here. Another shuttle dropping zealots on top of the tanks on the high ground. And maybe he can breach this?
I think he's got it. Like, it's now critical mass has been broken for Terran. Terran does not have the tanks. Also, the staggered stasis are amazing. Dewalt, if he just floods zealots out of these bases, I think he can bust. He also needs to get all of this production over to the right side. He's got so many shuttles. What's really lacking is there's no support for the goons. He cannot relent on this, because if Mihu stabilizes, he's gonna have his mineral only. He's gonna have both of the mid-right bases. That's gonna be a lot of income for him. So he's gotta break this right now.
Here we go. Arbiter shuttle running in here mid-right. Ooh, gets some zealots on top of the high ground immediately. And it looks like Mihu forced to pull all SCVs from that point. At the same time, he's preparing a counter drop for Mihu's mineral only, it looks like. Big stasis going down on a couple tanks. Oh, here we go.
See ya.
Storm. Get out of here. Very
Get out
nice.
of here. I think it's just been broken machine. Mihu does not have enough money anymore. There's chaos all over the map. Look at this. Dewalt, he knows his position. He's retaking that mineral only, and we're probably maybe not going to see the GG right at this moment, but one more big attack at mid-right is probably going to seal the deal. Those are ridiculous storms. Now, if Mihu wasn't all in before, he's mega all in now.
Yeah, I think Mihu sees the writing on the wall here. He's got to get something done. He's got to secure both these bases and push simultaneously here. We're seeing Dewalt is at that max supply with quite a bit in the bank here, but Mihu is hurting, man. He's got a small group of vultures looking to maybe, I don't know, get some harassment done, bottom left here, but I don't know, man. It's going to be tough for him from this point out.
It's just relentless amounts of units from Protoss. The tank count is still insane. Only in this position, though. Anywhere else, there's no tanks because there's no money. So Mihu, with this army, has to kill, like, I would say minimum 3 bases. That's at the absolute minimum if he even wants to have a chance. But when he's attacking here, that means there's not defense at mid-right, and that's where all of our SCVs are, or I thought all of our SCVs are.
Looks like a lot of probes being transferred out from Dewalt just in the nick of time here. He's been so good about that. Anytime a base is under fire, he says, you know what? I've got 7 more just like it. I'm going to just move these boys. So, oh, here we go. Dewalt going for a big engage here.
There's no observer here, so the Zealot's going to eat a lot of the mines. I mean, great storms, and now that all the tanks are dead, we are donezo, machine, and that's it. GG.
Yeah, man. GG is called. Game 1 there. Going to Dewalt. What a surprise, man. You know, I'm shocked. I was pretty hyped to see that, and yeah, Dewalt got it done with the drop style we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the drops were so effective. I mean, he didn't do what I was thinking he's going to do, which is drop the main. You could see in Mihu's main, if you went for that style, you're not going to be trading very well. So I'm glad that if we're going shuttles, it's with the army, but that's really hard to do, especially when you also have Arbiter and you have Storm in those shuttles. But well done. I think the moment that the tide changed was when Dewalt realized, like, hey, I can just sack this base because I've got like 10 other ones, dude. And that's when it really started moving in his favor. That's when he started having the engagements that he wanted. Because before that, you're not killing 20 tanks that Mihu has, especially with EMP and his Vulture control. So it was smart play.
Yeah, it absolutely was. I know the moment you're talking about when he was, Mihu was engaging the mineral only. At that time, it was probably the roughest point in the game for Dewalt as well, right? It looked like Mihu finally hit that critical mass. Max versus Max had the upgrades, and he was fighting versus pure Gateway Man. But honestly, Dewalt just made the adjustment and, countered. It was like you were saying, when Flash plays Protoss, what does he do? He just avoids the army, right? Like, just counter, counter, counter. It's a great way to play. And, especially against Mihu. I think it's why Mihu is so diligent about placing those mines, keeping tanks in the main, keeping tanks at the third base. He's like buttoned up for those counterattacks normally. It's just, basically Dewalt was able to just kind of find an opening eventually. But yeah, it looks like both of our players are ready to go here. It's going to be Butter for map 2. So let's jump into it. Mihu versus Dewalt, game 2. And spawning top right as the blue Terran. Yeah, I see him. It's Mihu.
And this is not a gas steal from bottom right, which is Dewalt. This is potentially the legendary. The unheard of. 7-7.
Ooh, I love it. I love it, man.
If you don't wall versus this machine, which, of course, nobody walls these days except for yours truly. This is it's actually not 7-7, but regardless, this is still a really fast gate. This is ridiculously hard to stop.
Yeah, this is something I see, honestly, Raz do a lot on, maps like Butter, 2-player maps, PvT. It just seems like chaos to deal with, right? You're at such an early stage in the game, you barely have your first Marine out, and suddenly you have a Zealot wide walking into your mineral line. And they don't stop. It's not like it's just going to be 1 or 2. It's going to be 4, 5. He's going to make another gateway in his main. He's still going to be making zealots in your main. It's you know, if you're not on top of the control, it's a pretty quick way to lose a game.
Okay, and I love it here. The gas steal, I always talk about this. If you gas steal too fast, yes, you got their gas, but the problem is Terran's gonna think there's no possible gateway because you did it too fast. I like how he came in here at 135. This could be either or, and the fact that Mihu didn't scout his natural is a big deal. Now, because it's a 9 gate instead of a 7 gate, it's not going to be as devastating. This is more normal. He's going to have played versus this way more often because, you know, Eclipse is in the map pool. Tons of Protoss players proxy like this. So we'll see if Dewalt can get some damage done with this Zealot. And he is actually just going to transition into gas himself.
No Marine building from the barracks. Okay, it was just a little delayed. But, yikes. He's going to need these Marines here. First Zealot going to be walking in here. And we're seeing SCV gets pulled, so yeah, he knows now. Here we go.
I don't know if I've ever seen this pull. Wow, a bunker. So he's going to bunker the front, but second Zealot I think should be out before that bunker can complete. Maybe not, though. This is already ridiculous control. He even gets the probe. So actually, this is doing no damage. I can't even believe what I'm seeing here.
I mean, they are linebackers, you know. Bunker is up. 2 Marines going inside that bunker. It's great control, I guess. I mean, one thing that always stands out to me with these top players is it really just the worker control is on another level.
Well, this, even though he hasn't gotten kills, this is still a lot of damage. This was 7 SCVs pulled off. Oof. Also, he has 3 SCVs on the gas. So that's 10 workers that are not mining right now. It doesn't matter if this is a 7 gate or a 9 gate or whatever the heck it was. This is a lot of lost econ.
Yeah, it absolutely is, man. And that assimilator will fall. Another 2 zealots still remaining. I was wondering if we'd maybe see the bus Terran follow up with a proxy barracks or something like that, but doesn't look like that's going to end up being the case here.
It looks like that SCV actually may have died. So if it died, that means Protoss doesn't have to worry about proxy anymore, which is fantastic for him. We do have 1 zealot. Okay, you gotta run Marines, unless these Marines are God mode. They look like they are, man. They're like, I don't care about Predator and his friend. I'm gonna pop them.
I don't care about Predator and his friend. Oh, I love it. Yeah, man.
He's
looks
dead.
like the Zealot gonna fall. Dragoon's very low. Oh, boy. Yeah, Dewalt's gonna have to back up with that guy.
Man, when you got micro like this, I guess you don't need to worry about Protoss. Now, those Marines are pretty damaged. Oh, no! We can't have that. That's not good. If he actually sets up a wall, if he had lined up in a line to prevent the goon from getting out, he would have been able to kill 2 goons and a zealot for 6 Marines, and he's only lost 2. That would have been crazy.
Looks like another bunker going to be going down at the natural, though. Mihu going to transition into taking his own expansion, and Dewalt just kind of gathering his thoughts, it looks like. Not really wanting to poke in with this remaining Dragoon at all. Shields are already been burned off. And yeah, I don't know. That felt a little bit to me like advantage to Mihu here to start things off.
Yeah, I don't know how this has happened, but maybe Dewalt cut probes while he was zealot microing, or cut probes to get out an additional zealot, whatever the case was. But like, he doesn't have a gate anymore.
No.
Oh, we can't use use that. Also,
Just
he's
run.
down workers. There we go. There's another goon popping out.
I mean, he can't even fight with that weak Dragoon anymore.
No, he can't. He's just got to run. Those Marines have, a lot of them have almost full health. Oh, you got to get out of there, dude. You got to go.
Man, yeah, he's hurting. Almost gets a probe as well.
Oh, he's got range now, so he's going to own this.
Okay. Still, though, nice pressure out of Mihu.
Well, I still like Mihu's position. Like, he didn't take as much damage as I thought he was, and the worker count is way lower for Dewalt than I anticipated. Also losing a goon and a zealot, and Mihu's just built Marines. Like, that's fine. But because Mihu did lose his probe, he doesn't know what's going on behind this Nexus. This could be DT, man. Could be anything. So safely, he's just building an eBay.
Looks like maybe, yeah, third Nexus going to go down for Dewalt here as well. I like, you know, I like the position he's in here. Makes me wonder if maybe a 4-fact could be in mind here, though, from Mihu.
Yeah, I think now that he sees, like, hey, I've got a tank, basically by the time your range kicks in and gets to my base, I'm probably not that far behind in units. So I think this is going to be like a 3-tank push with Marines, or maybe 4-tank push, looking at how these factories are lining up. And we'll see what he wants to follow up behind this, but this is definitely going to be some type of push because he knows that the gateway count is lacking.
Yeah, looks like a second and third gateway being produced here from Dewalt. Observatory is just now completing, so Dewalt, you know, going to be able to use that first observer to kind of poke around, see what he's facing off against. Fourth gateway looks like was just made as well.
Well, gateways are done, and Terran has not moved out yet, so he could still get out maybe like 5 goons by the time this push is coming. But Mihu needs to start going now. Like, there are just flat out times where you can't wait for more tanks. You just gotta go, and this is one of those times. And that's a dead goon again, man.
Yeah, that's huge. Another Dragoon has shields burned off, and suddenly Dewalt's in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, he's got a lot of Marines to buffer. The goon count is what it can't be just 3. Like, there must be another goon somewhere. But maybe that's it. 5 goons versus 4 tanks, 5 Marines, and 2 vultures. This looks like it could be lights out machine, unless there's like some type of miracle drop on top of spider mines. Oh, he's walled himself in. I think it's over now. There's like, how are you gonna get on top of this army? Well, there's a zealot. He needs to get in there though. He's not going to.
Yeah, he has an observer, so he will be able to spot these mines, but Vulture already being placed behind the mineral line, getting some good probe kills. Tank's just running in here, focusing down solo Dragoons. Nice probe pulling, though, from Dewalt.
Yeah, that was a good idea. It didn't work out, though, and unfortunately that tank on the left side is low, but he's not focusing it down. Yeah, this is just too much damage. Look at supplies plummet for Dewalt. This was a really good timing from Mihu, recognizing where he was in the game, despite not knowing that it was a fast third base. I don't even think it would have mattered, right? Even if he had gone Reaver, you can see the Observer just barely popped out in time. Would Reaver have made a difference? Yes, sure, but I still think he would have gotten damage into the Reaver anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're seeing 4 Vultures rallied at a time across the map here. More and more probes are falling. Looks like the final tank will fall though as well, so that should at least shut off this pressure for the meantime.
Well, it's gonna shut down the pressure, but we're still losing all of our probes, man. And if we're not GGing here, you know the GG's coming in a second. I guess luckily for Dewalt, Terran never scouted the high ground, so he may be looking at this and seeing like, dude, you've got a lot of gates, you've got an observer. You can't afford a third Nexus, so I'm sitting pretty. But actually, if Dewalt, you know, doesn't get punished for the next 5 minutes, he can definitely scale back his econ and get back in this game.
Yeah, it could be possible. I mean, it's not like Mihu at the same time isn't someone who's diligent about keeping up that SCV production. You know, he'll likely take his own third from here. Yep, we're seeing that third command center being produced near the high ground base. But yeah, still, this was a rough start to the game here from Dewalt.
Yeah, this is playable, but it's not definitely not a great position. I think if he gets a zealot bomb on top of mines that explodes a decent amount of supply, if that can happen, then he'll definitely be back in the game. But as played right now, he's pretty far behind, but there could be a miracle. Luckily for him, Mihu did not 7-fact. Mihu does have a lot of factories, but he built that extra command center. Whereas if he was just attacking right now, I think he just flat out wins the game. I did hear a scan go off. Not sure if he found mid-right just yet, but now he's going to. Oh no.
Oh. Wow, Vulture's going to get inside here, placing down a couple mines, starting to focus down some of the probes. And yeah, this is just more and more damage added here onto Dewalt. Dewalt down by about 15-ish supply. It's never a great spot to be in if you're playing PvT.
Yeah, if you're down supply as Protoss, you're pretty dead. Unless you're just a god with Storm. Like, that's the only real equalizer, unless you're also a god with Reaver. Those two units can get you back in the game, but we don't have either of those right now. And now we are going to have the Mihu push, and he's smartly going to the right side. He's going to use those small chokes to advantage. There's no base for Dewalt to fall back on. Like, there's no fourth base where he can say, like, oh, well, I can just sack this and go mine somewhere else. Like, that's not the case. He's got to save this, but he's not. He's just going to go for a counter. I don't think this is going to work.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good call, right? These Dragoons, if they ran into those tanks face first, they would just be melted. So might as well go for a counter. Maybe if he could shut off the natural and shut off the third, some funky business could happen. But yeah, this is not looking great here.
Well, there weren't any mines set up, and there was no tank, so he's going to get in here and actually do a decent amount of damage, but he is going to get locked in because of this. Now, you can see Vultures have run back and started laying mines, so Dewalt needs to get the hell out of here before all these mines do get set up. There's going to be one connection right there. That's really good crisis management, but he's going to lose everything on this engagement. Terran's just going to lose Vultures.
Yeah, tanks running back home after killing the Nexus. They're already here.
Oh,
looks like a drop happened at the third.
There we go.
And it is Reaver, so we got one of those magical unicorn units here that Protoss needs to make comebacks, so maybe there's a shot?
He needs a second Reaver. He needs a second Reaver where he can start blowing up tanks in one round of Scarabs. That was a good shutdown. But the problem is he just doesn't have, you know, the econ. He's just now getting his third base up and running because he just lost one. Behind this, what's our tech? There's no Citadel. There's no real tech of anything. Like, we're just taking our nat gas at 13 minutes. So it is literally pure Zealot Goon with Shuttle and Reaver. And that's just not a winning combination versus 2-1.
No, definitely not. He's got to find openings here with this Reaver. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Guess not. I mean, this is great for him. He's at least just buying time, right? Reaver gets a good shot.
He needs to buy as much time as possible. This is about all you can do. This is... Okay, he unloads. He has to unload because how's he going to get out?
Yeah, he's trapped. There's not really a great way for him to get out here. Mihu, though, leaving a couple tanks around, should be able to stop this. Well, I say that.
Well, this is just annoying. Like, it's just buying time. SCVs are bouncing back and forth, yet still Mihu's up 40 supply. And we've got the third base definitely done for Dewalt, but because everything is happening with this drop, he hasn't transferred any workers here. You can also see he's floating a lot of minerals. He's going to go for a counter at the third, but depot wall's already set up.
Oh man, I'm so impressed with that Reaver. That was very well done. Yeah, there's no engaging that third. Look at that, completely walled off. So many tanks on the high ground here. Yeah. I think it's just a matter of time here. Mihu probably going to start consolidating his tanks, Vultures, and try to push to win here.
Yeah, he knows his advantage. All he has to do is not botch an attack. Like, don't sit on a mine and get dropped on. That's all he has to do. Like, I don't even think he necessarily needs tanks. If he just had like mass Vulture, he probably wins because Protoss's army is so small. And he is moving. He does see the observer, and Dewalt is doing all he can really do. Is he's just going to try and counter. He's got his Reaver out, but like I said, there's no second Reaver, so it's not going to be a lot of damage.
Yeah, counter going to be shut down here though. I mean, that is a tank on the high ground as long as he repairs it. And here we go. Mihu not even having to siege, really, to engage this force of Dewalt.
Absolute massacre.
Oh!
There's the mine that I was talking about. He doesn't get it. And GG comes out, and that means Mihu ties it up.
Yeah, pretty good given the start, right? I thought Dewalt was in a good spot early with that proxied, like, single gateway. We got to see some unique pressure out of him with the gas steal and everything, but Mihu, man, he just reacted accordingly. He just picked off that early goon with pure marine, like, didn't really struggle on the defense as far as preventing any eco damage early on. So yeah, it's just a tough spot for Dewalt to kind of be in there. But,
Yeah, once the Zealots got almost no Marine kills, and then the Zealot died to just Marines, you're like, uh-oh, because you're losing your gate. And then, of course, it being a 9-9, you're cutting a lot of probes. I didn't realize he had cut so much. Like, when I looked at the supply and it was like 30 to 25, I'm like, oh man, Protoss is already in a dire situation. But a good attempt from Dewalt. He tried to make it crazy, but just too far behind after that. And Mihu, of course, he knows when to strike, man. This guy knows all the timings. Like, hey, I know where I am at all points in the game. I don't even need scan machine. I just know. Yeah. And he striked at the right times, and fortunately, Dewalt couldn't do anything about it.
Yep, but with that, it'll set us up for our game 3 here. It's going to be Circuit Breakers. Looks like this was Dewalt's pick. What do you think of Circuit Breakers for PvT?
Amazing map for Protoss. I mean, it's great for Terran also because you've got 4 bases, pretty easy. But this map is so open in the center of the map, you can literally get a 360 engagement there if you're very diligent with your placement, like also if you drop from the back. So this, I think, is a good map for both, but knowing Dewalt's macro, I'm going to like him here. And, of course, seeing this screen means we're ready. So let's get into Game 3 of Dewalt versus Mihu.
And spawning bottom left as the red Terran from China, it is Mihu.
Yep, and in the blue, our Russian Protoss, it is Dewalt.
Cross map, huh? It's
yeah,
gonna be interesting.
I think we may see Gasless, and I think we might actually get a 12 Nexus here. This is a map where you often don't get scouted first. It's a big map. Even vertical and horizontal isn't exactly the closest because you gotta, vertically go out of your main, then walk horizontally, then there's the bridges. If you engage on the bridges, it buys you a decent amount of time. So I would like that from both sides. Mihu doesn't strike me as someone that goes gasless often, but if you're gonna pull it out, I think the Circuit Breakers is the map to pull it out on.
Yeah, sure seems like it. Honestly, those bridges are a little difficult for, both races to push across early on. We already saw, how easily Mihu handled something like a proxy gate as natural. So if you can kind of, do that early on, maybe, especially after a game where you've just shut something like that down, gasless would be a lot of fun to kind of see here. But it looks like we will be just seeing standard Rax Refinery out of Mihu here, and not a 12 nex from Dewalt either.
Yeah, I'm surprised to not see the gasless. I thought that we had really set him up for it with gasless. Like you said, it's unlikely Dewalt's going to proxy gate 2 games in a row. So I think this was the perfect opportunity. It could just be that Mihu's practiced, of course, 12 gas for this series, and that's just what he's going to go for. But that's fine, and we do have both players scouting vertically, so they're going to find each other potentially second, but actually Mihu may find him last because we know the in scout is quite common.
Yeah, it's definitely seems to be more common from Terran for whatever reason here. Looks like Factory going to be going down, pretty standard here from Mihu. Core just about to finish up from Dewalt. No Zealot this time around, I believe.
No, he's hitting out right now, man.
Oh, never mind.
There he goes.
There he goes. He's wandering around. Going to the mineral only, looks like.
Well, he's sending him to top left because he hasn't found Mihu just yet. So 50-50 chance that he's at top left. But not going to be the case. It is going to be cross spawn, so he's not going to exactly love that, knowing that he's built a Zealot here. But at least he's getting last scouted, which is great for him.
Yep, Zealot going to be probably just trying to prevent a bunker at this point, I'd guess, at the natural.
Oh, we might be in trouble, Machine. We only have 3 Marines. The probe is still alive. The Zealot has gone unscouted, and we have no SimCity at all, and the Rax is floated. And SCV didn't even catch the goon. And he's getting very greedy here. No bunker at all. But, okay, I thought he was going in before his... He is going in before his goon.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be charging in here. Looks like Zealot probe trying to get on top of the SCV, making that command center. And yeah, looks like Dragoon in as well here. Ooh, Probe gets focused immediately though. Very well done from Mihu. But still, he might be able to prevent this command center.
Yep, the barracks was lifted for so long that there's not that many Marines. One of the Marines is low, and Vulture is not exactly the strongest unit versus a Goon. But luckily for Mihu, because the Dewalt did not build, or if he did build a second Goon, he didn't send it, and he lost the Goon, so didn't really get punished for that.
Yeah, really unfortunate. A second Goon definitely would have cleaned that up at this point. But yeah, it looks like the SCV of Mihu just kind of scouting around inside the main. He will be able to secure his own natural here, and it seems pretty much on par, on time with Dewalt's own natural nexus.
Yep, this is a good situation for Terran. Lost like 2 Marines, didn't lose any SCVs, lost just a single Vulture, but that's fine. Now Terran is going to have map control with Vultures and Mines. This is absolutely the dream scenario for Terran right now. He can go for anything. A lot of times you see Starport follow up, but knowing Mihu, that's probably not going to be the case. He's probably just going to build a second factory. So, like, this is just awesome for him. He doesn't have to build any tanks.
Yeah, he should feel completely fine here. That's likely Mines building at the factory add-on. Vulture already in position to place some good mines. Robo Support Bay going down at the natural here for Dewalt, likely going to be going into that standard Reaver style of play that he likes. And we see something top left.
It's the Starport.
Oh, okay. Hiding the Starport. I like it.
This is a flash move. Players at levels like this often mix in Starport play, but I gotta say, this Starport at 5:30, that's really late. Like, think about that. The shuttle's basically out, and this guy's Starport isn't done. Like, Observer could be coming out. So, this is... I don't know if this is actually going to get much damage done because of how late it is, but maybe he'll be able to get something done because it's definitely going to be confusing. You're not expecting a drop to come in at this point.
I mean, and how would you see it, right? Observer, even if Observer's out, headed straight for their base. Yeah, this is going to be a Vulture drop. I actually really like this, given the positioning here from Mihu. He's got a good amount of mines placed to the left side of Dewalt's main. I mean, he'll just be picking up, 3-4 Vultures, dropping them inside the main here, and Dewalt, if he doesn't spot this, it could do very significant damage here.
Yeah, it could also be like Mihu's calculated this, like, hey man, you always drop it around this time. Well, what if I drop you at the same time? Because it's likely that Dewalt's going to be watching his Reaver, right? That's such an expensive unit. Whereas if you just drop Vultures, they deal so much damage to workers, you don't even have to really look at them. Also, you've already used all your mines, so you're suiciding them anyways.
Yeah, very true. Observer is out from Dewalt as well. That shuttle's slowly making its way to the main, almost on time. It looks like 2 tanks running into the main here of Mihu. But 4 Vultures, once again, just kind of poking around that third base position. See the Dragoons, see the Nexus building. And yeah, it looks like drop from Mihu, not getting much done here. Whoa! I like the Reaver positioning there. Oh no.
It's dead. Oh, that was a big loss for Dewalt. And that drop just got scouted by the Goons. The Goon died, but he may have seen it, and you can see he did. So he moves into position. So he's going to be able to defend the drop. But losing the Reaver is huge. That's going to give so much control to Mihu. He can potentially start thinking about a command center. And in fact, I think what just went down at his base is a command center. Oh,
yeah.
nope, science facility.
Science facility. 2 science facilities, in fact. He's going nukes and BCs. Oh, never mind. I thought it was 2.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah. Shoot. Yeah, no third command center quite yet for Mihu, but I mean, he likely could here soon. Looks like he's just happy to get those upgrades going with the armory. Dropship not really going to be able to get much done anymore for Mihu once that's been scouted.
I didn't realize how fast Mihu must have gotten +1 because this science facility is like a minute faster than usual. So he's going to be setting up for like 12-minute 2-1. Which means we could actually have Terran just sitting onto 4 bases and waiting for 3-2, which is obviously ridiculously strong, and with supplies being so close, and also after catching that Reaver, that's going to be amazing for him.
Yeah, this is a odd timing here from Dewalt, right?
Yeah, I don't know about this move. This feels like over-ambitious, and he does lose a goon. Of course, losing one goon, not the biggest of deal. He might have been going in there to try and just pop the turret, because you can see the shuttles here. And that was going to be like the follow-up move, try and shut down the natural.
Yeah, that would make sense here. Shuttle going to swing around towards the south center side. Maybe try to pop into the main here of Mihu. We'll have to see how that goes. Mihu's been so diligent about defending these drops in the main. And yeah, we're seeing no turrets are prepared here. There is a mine, though.
Ooh. Not as many mines set up as usual when you're facing Mihu, so... he still didn't take any damage, really. Okay, there's the mine that you just know Mihu's always going to have. And good control there. Took no damage at all.
Ooh. There is a shuttle, or a turret sniping that shuttle on the way out, though. It looks like Starport doesn't get found.
That's not the biggest loss, but at higher levels, like this particular match, that is going to be a big loss, because you definitely need to have EMP versus Arbiters, or even just EMPing just the ground army. You're dealing thousands of points of damage to shields, so that's going to be something that Mihu's going to have to rebuild. You know, it's equal to a tank, so it's not the most expensive thing, but definitely annoying.
Yeah, definitely annoying. Academy going down. Fifth factory as well here from Mihu. And we're really just seeing Gateway Man out of Dewalt so far, right? No Starport, no Arbiter tech quite yet. No, it's not Carrier by any means. Double Forge, it looks like, and even the fourth has just now finished up here from Dewalt.
I want to know what Dewalt's upgrades are. If he has +1, oh, we're in trouble, machine. 1-1 is not bad, but 2-1 is really what you're looking for if you're going to be trying to fight 2-1 versus 2-1. So it's going to be upgrade advantage for Mihu, but Dewalt's going to have eco advantage, taking his fourth base slightly faster. Oh, another drop. That's going to be fantasy style with the tanks. It is!
Wow, very nice. Dropship gets focused down very quickly, though. And actually, this doesn't look like it's going to end up doing much here for Mihu.
Yeah, that was a big mistake. I was wondering if those vultures had mines or not, because he didn't use any. He actually did. When you make moves like that, you've got to lay mines with your tanks. So that was a mistake. That was very well traded for Dewalt, and that gives him a lot of control, and he's probably take a fifth base soon.
Where would you take the fifth base here? Not mid-right, right?
Nah, not mid-right. I think you're going to take... Well, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Mid-right, or not mid-right, bottom right or top left could be good.
Yeah, I'd like to see like a top left base at this point. Likely Mihu will be expanding to 6 o'clock next, so seems to make the most sense to expand further away from your opponent when they're Terran.
Yeah, I think top left is going to be the base, because more than likely Terran's going to take bottom middle. You don't necessarily want to have another base over at bottom right. You want to be able to flank your opponent when they're in the center of the map. So we do have Shuttleman. Now this could be a big bust. If you look at the supporting units for Terran, the Vulture count is pretty low, and a lot of the Vultures are actually out of position. There's not that many Goliaths here either, so these shuttles will all unload. Here we go, a big drop on top of the tanks, but there aren't very many units on top of the tanks at the top side, but the Zealots at the bottom are doing work.
Yeah, they're definitely doing work. Reaver's still doing work as well, picking off the remaining Vultures, and the Dragoons running in here as well. Shuttle just barely doesn't make it out with its life.
He's got to get all of his... Sorry.
No, this is just so many units here from the wall.
He wasn't able to, get his units attacking at the top side on the units. Like, half of his Dragoons are just attacking this command center. So what looked like a good attack ends up being great defense from Mihu. He lost a lot of his tanks, but supplies have plummeted for Dewalt.
Yeah, that was almost like an 80 supply lead, I feel like, at first from Dewalt. And now we're, something like a 20 supply lead. Uh-oh. And no fifth base still from Dewalt. So suddenly Mihu just kind of sitting back and doing what he needs to do to hang on to this game.
Yeah, I think Dewalt was trying to go for a 1-1 into 0-1 or into 1-0 upgrades, but he didn't know that Mihu this game actually rushed his armory. So 2-1 was definitely in time for that attack. Oh, it wasn't! Did he miss his +2 weapon upgrade? That's huge!
Yeah, I guess so. Shoot. But he does have a 4th base now at 6 o'clock. And Dewalt just now starting mid-right, which we kind of talked about. I think it's a little bit of a mistake. I would have really liked to have seen a Nexus top left.
Well, Terran's now got bottom middle set up. He's got a good bank. He eliminated the big threat with that push. And Protoss is expanding in Terran's direction, so it's going to be not necessarily easy to go up into high ground, but that base is right over there, so we'll see if he wants to try and punish that expansion.
Yeah, we'll have to kind of wait and see, I guess. Ooh, big flock of vultures running out towards top left now. Might even be posturing to do some damage to 12 o'clock, but actually, nope. He's going to funnel those units back. Looks like he's seen Dewalt is maybe setting up for another timing on this natural, which, I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like a great place to attack this late into the game here.
Yeah, he can't attack like this. He needs to draw the units out of position somehow and then make an attack like that. But Terran's just locked up on 4 bases. This is what you can do on circuit breakers. Like, you don't even have to move past your 3rd base, and you just instantly have 4 bases. So Dewalt now, I think, needs to build like a lot of pros, just get like a ton of econ going, flood gates bottom right since he's taken this position, and then try and hope that he can get some good stasis and storms off.
Would you ever
robo.
go, yeah, double robo, exactly what we were talking about. I was going to ask if you just maybe try to go carrier here, but maybe Mihu will hit a timing before carrier could possibly get up.
Yeah, Mihu just hit +2, so he's going to go now. I don't think you can go shuttle man into carriers. It's just too expensive, too many minerals. And we do see Mihu, he is going to take mid-left as a 5th base, but we've got shuttle bomb and an engagement at the same time. This was a good idea, but unfortunately one of the shuttles just instantly died. Dewalt, you got to run, man. You're going to lose literally your entire army.
Yeah, that was not great. Engaging versus Mihu with 2-1 on the high ground. And once again, man, you kind of called it before we even saw game 1. Drop play does not seem to be the way to defeat Mihu. He is prepared. It's not like he's skimping out on those mines, on keeping tanks at bases, on making turrets. He will just do what he needs to do to prevent those counter drop timings.
Yeah, he didn't even have that many mines set up at bottom middle, and it still got denied. So that was probably the best case scenario for you, and it still didn't work. So now, Mihu's maxed versus a Protoss that just got their first Arbiter, just lost their entire army, lost all their shuttles, so that means that the Templar count is also reset. I don't know how you stop this army now. I think we're going to have another power bond situation where we just hope and pray we can make the game weird with counterattacks.
Mihu going to be able to prevent mining at that 5th base mid-right here for Dewalt. And, you know, this is why I really don't like when Protoss take this base versus Terran. You cannot lose map control.
Well, this is a smart move. He's cutting off reinforcements. Now, I don't know about this. Yes, a lot of the tanks are out of position now, but could he have slammed? Actually, his army's so tiny. Like, where's his supply? Dewalt's almost maxed. But if we look at Terran's supply, just even in the middle of the map, which is half his army, it looks much bigger than Protoss's total army.
Looks like a big surround here from Dewalt. Shuttle diving in. Ooh, get some good mines. Huge storms as well. And the rally of Dewalt finally running in here and looking to slam this. But, I mean, tanks are still alive. And now Mihu's rally coming in from the south side of the map as well.
Yeah, I think this is the move that you had to go as Dewalt, is you needed to cut off reinforcements and then slam the army in the middle of the map while reinforcements can't help you, and it still didn't work. So now, I think Dewalt's just dead. He lost mid-right, he lost all the probes there also. He doesn't have a standing army. He's got double robo, so every time he builds shuttles, you know, he's building 2 at a time, which shuttles don't deal damage, machine, so it's going to be really tough to actually break this middle army. But Dewalt's up supply. He does have 4 bases.
Yeah, he does
6
have 4
bases.
bases, but this bottom right is completely isolated off. I don't see any production down there as well. So I feel like 12 vultures could just go down there and wreak havoc at this point. Still, shuttles diving in with these zealot bombs, continuing to pick off remaining tanks of Mihu. But wow, it looks like Mihu even taking mid left at the exact same time, really staying on top of his macro here. And Dewalt's in a tough position now.
Yeah, Terran's going to hit 3-3 any moment now also. And Protoss doesn't know about mid-left. Not that he can even deny it anyways. But he is hanging on right now. He's still got good eco. He needs flat out just more stuff. Triple shuttle bomb to mid-left. Now that could be maybe not necessarily a game-winning move, but it could be a move that buys him time.
Yeah, definitely could. I mean, preventing any of this mining here for Mihu would be huge at this point. We still see Mihu has the bigger bank, 3k minerals, 600 gas about, and it looks like Dewalt honestly starting to run out. Mineral only, getting pretty low, 12 o'clock. Still has a decent amount of mining left at it, but also, you know, getting fewer and fewer.
Reaver.
Wow! Big Reaver Zealot drop at 6 o'clock. I mean, this is kind of what we were talking about. He's got to get damage done somewhere. Might as well be 6 o'clock.
Yeah, and it needs to be cost effective like this. He got like 5 tanks. He's going to lose. Yes, he's going to lose a lot of zealots, but the Reaver's going to get a lot of damage done here. He may even be able to pop these 2 Goliaths and some SCVs, but Protoss just lost his entire army at top left, and he's losing bottom right.
Yeah, this is not looking great here for Dewalt. No production bottom right at all. Yeah, 12 o'clock likely going to just be forced down here from a single siege tank and a handful of vultures. And Dewalt is just in crisis management mode at this point.
Yep, Mihu's everywhere. He's shutting down multiple bases at the same time. That's a great EMP, hits the entire army. The only reason this base ends up getting saved is because Mihu didn't reinforce. If he reinforced at all, that's a dead base. Now, Protoss is back down to basically 3 base mining, probably about to be 2 base mining, because those are tanks going to bottom right. So that probe line is going to be annihilated in the next couple seconds.
Yeah, there's, I mean, that's really just going to shut the faucet off on Dewalt's mining here. Does have some shuttles bottom right. You could try to pick up and save some of those probes, but I don't know, there's just so much going on. Yeah, it looks like that's what he's going to do. He's going to pick up the remaining probes, get away with as many as he can here, but this is all Mihu at this point. And
Yeah, Dewalt still doesn't know about mid-left. Look at his vision on the map. He has no idea that that base is even taken. If he could storm drop over there, a lot of SCVs are actually over at that base, so he would get a lot of damage done. But he just doesn't have any idea that that's even taken at all.
Mihu just fine with kind of spreading out in the center of the map here, really trying to prevent any possibility of like a 360 flank kind of scenario. Yeah, I mean, Dewalt just pokes and prods, but there's just too many units.
Yep, good storm, but we need more. And this is just so much Terran. Like, if he could get a stasis down while all those tanks are all clumped together, that would be amazing, because the vultures are pretty far forward. He could engage that, but he's not willing to risk losing the arbiters for that. So now they're on the high ground, and now 100% this base is dead, and probably top middle's dead.
I think Dewalt hit a storm drop mid-left, though. Did clear a bunch of SCVs. But still, I mean, this barely affects Mihu at this point.
Yep. Mihu doesn't care. He's just going to kill this base. Now, this is a cute move. There's not that much for Terran, at least not very strong units. But as I say that, there go the most critical units for Protoss. See a double Arbiter. And supplies have plummeted for Dewalt now, 170 to 120. You can't come back from this at this point. So this is going to be game 2 heading over to Mihu any moment now.
Yeah, Dewalt probably just kind of collecting his thoughts at this point. GG finally typed. And yeah, it looks like Mihu taking a lead in the series now, 2-1 over Dewalt. You know, like you were saying, I kind of thought Circuit Breakers of all the maps would be a big favorite here for our Dewalt. But man, if Mihu played it very well, I kind of like the unique style of play, going for you know, that proxy Stargate, tried to go for a drop that didn't pay off. But maybe it felt a little bit like Dewalt just kind of being too overly eager, too aggressive early on, and Mihu was just prepared for it and started running away with it.
I think Dewalt had two moments in the game which were critical for him. First, obviously, being the Zealot Goon combo. It can't get any better for you as Protoss at that moment. No bunker, no SimCity, no SCV there to block, no anything. And then we got almost no damage done. In fact, it probably was in favor of Terran. And then I think really what sealed the deal was the big bust at the third base. I think Dewalt wins with that attack if his goons don't screw around and attack the command center for, you know, the entire fight. If they get on top of the tanks with the Zealots, I think he just cripples Terran so much that it's going to be hard for Terran to get critical mass without getting over, you know, without giving up so much map control to Protoss. So those were the two big mistakes. And then, of course, the drops at the bottom really didn't help Dewalt at all. So I think Shuttle Man, yes, it was successful in, what was it, Power Bond? But I think we need to have some type of alternative here, because Mihu, he just doesn't die to drops. You can see it. He's always set up for it.
Yeah, he's just always prepared. You know, he's not one of those Terrans that's going to play greedy in a way where he's maybe forgetting to, you know, place tanks inside a main or a third base in lieu of having a bigger force out on the map going for pressure, right? He buttons up, he does his chores and buttons up the potential counterpoints even before, you know, he tries to apply any pressure of his own. And yeah, it looks like map 4 here going to be Sylphid, very similar to Power Bond in a lot of ways. So I'm kind of excited to see how this one's going to go. But both of our players are set. We are ready. Let's jump into game number 4 of Dewalt versus Mihu. And spawning bottom left as the blue Protoss from Russia, it is Dewalt.
And in the mid right, our red Terran, it is Mihu.
Yeah. You know, Sylphid, I know a lot of Protoss players don't really mind this map, but I've always thought that this is a very strong map for Terran, right? Just with how those middle third bases are built and positioned, you know, if Terran is able to secure that choke point outside your natural, it seems just very difficult for Protoss to kind of dig them out of there. So I feel like if there was a map for a 4-fact timing, it would be Sylphid.
Yeah, this is definitely a good map for Terran, and we haven't seen the 4-fact really all day. So this could be, like you said, a good map for the 4-fact. This is a map that's also kind of similar to Power Bond in the sense that you sit at your natural, and oh look, I can defend my mineral only and that high ground base without basically moving. So 4-base Terran, really easy to get on this map, and anybody that's played TVP knows 4-base Terran, a lot of times they don't even need another base. They can just survive on that forever and be so powerful. So this is definitely a good Terran map. But again, it's another 3-player map like Power Bond. And, you know, if Dewalt again gets like 8 bases, he can afford to sack one and just transfer to another one and, you know, just go for the counterattacks all game long. We again have 12 gas and just another normal opener from Dewalt. This time around, I don't think it's a Zealot. Or maybe it will be. He's approaching 17 supply.
Yeah, the Zealots really haven't been getting a ton done for Dewalt here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him skip it for this game. Mihu, unfortunately, getting the wrong scout off. You know, scout's 12 o'clock, realizes Dewalt's not there, but that will mean he knows exactly where Dewalt is now. Core is completed here. No Zealot this go around from Dewalt.
You have no range either.
Ooh,
There we go. There's range.
Just started it. I think that's the first time we've seen him go range first so far in the series. Every other time, I think it's just been like very quick robo.
Yeah, and also the first time we've seen no Zealot. I don't blame him for not going Zealot because every single game, the Zealot really hasn't done much damage. Also, Mihu's willing to just build a Vulture blind, so why build a Zealot into a guy that's blindly building a Vulture? You know, delaying his command center, building an additional depot. So I think this is a smart response from Dewalt. And this time around, I think Mihu realizes that he got a bit lucky to defend that last attack, and smartly he's going to go for a pretty quick bunker.
Yeah, I think this is a good call here from Mihu, right? Although it has been close, and I mean the Marines have been kicking the early Dragoons' ass so far, to put it lightly. Yeah, why test your luck at this point? Mihu. Yeah.
I was gonna say there's the Vulture again, man. He just always wants to open with this, and he is gonna get out onto the map, but that is going to allow Dewalt to put some pressure on with 2 goons. He should be able to get a 3rd goon before the gets across the map, but not willing to risk it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you say that, and every time now, tendency we've realized from Dewalt is he will back up with these Dragoons, right? Which is odd. You know, obviously I'm a Zerg player. I don't know the most intricate details of this matchup, but it seems like if you're getting that early goon range, you want to be putting pressure on that bunker and force repair and just be annoying. You know, it's not much, but it costs a little bit of lost mining time and a little bit of repair money.
Yeah,
we haven't seen that at all.
Yeah, if you can get the 3rd goon to defend your choke like he did, then yeah, you just put pressure on the Snatcher, because now that he knows where all the goons are, look at this, he just opens another Vulture. And how do you engage this as Terran now? You're going to be repairing this forever. He just built another Vulture. Tanks take 30 seconds, so this is going to be 30 seconds of repair. Oh, that's a lot, and he may actually lose this bunker because he wasn't paying attention with the 3rd SCV.
Yeah, it was very close to going down there. Mines have been placed along the retreat lane home, though, so Dewalt's going to need to be very careful with these forward Dragoons. Even though there's no tank out yet, you can't just back up and, assume you're going to be able to make it home here.
Yeah, with him knowing that there's Vultures out, he's going to definitely try and be very diligent to avoid the common pathways of retreating. Oh, is he going to jump? No, this is a mistake. This is a big mistake. You need to have 4 goons if you're ever going to make this move. So he does lose a lot of health there, and now this makes the mines even more dangerous, because if they trigger even one and one lands, all the goons blow up. And that's a huge tip, Anonymous. Thank you so much for the donation.
Yeah, that was $150, man. Oh, repair not quite going down. Oh, I thought that bunker was going to fall. Still, though, if you're Dewalt, all your Dragoons are weak at this point. You've gotta just realize, all right, maybe it's time to cut my losses back up. Let's not get too testy here with these early Dragoons.
Yep, and look at this. Mihu's saying, nope, no, sir, you got too greedy here. I'm going to try and cut you off. But this was really smart. He's just hiding in the darkness, and he sees that Mihu was trying to cut him off, and now he's going to sync up everything together and not get punished. And Tangard, thank you for a big donation also. By the way, Machine, I wanted to point out that this time around, Mihu went for a 445 armory. So there's 2 options here. We're going 3-2, or we're going 2-1-7 fact. Like, that's the main follow-up to this. So we could have a massive 12-minute timing, or we're going to have a really long game.
Got you. Well, I can't wait to see which one we go with here. I mean, given how close that 3rd base is, why not just draw the game out at this point, I hope we get to see this go ultra late game.
Well, Vultures are going to get picked off, or at least the mines are going to get picked off. And Dewalt, with his 3rd command center, or not 3rd command center, 3rd Nexus already done, he's going to explode in Econ. Now, what this observer is looking for is really, you want to know the starport timing. You're never really going to catch the armory, but if you can catch the starport timing, that can give away what the actual build is going to be. But Mihu, he's built this armory so quick, there's no starport machine, so we're missing our 3-2 timing if we were going for it.
Huh, what do you think this could be then? Because I was wondering the same myself. The armory was so quick, but, you know, we don't see much of a follow-up.
This may be like a 1-1-7 fact, because you really, like, his starport should actually already be done by now. Like, it should be done if he wants to nail his 2-1. So the fact that it's not even started just tells me that this has to be factory flood, because what else could it be? We're missing our critical +2 weapon upgrade.
Yeah, fair enough. We see 2 more factories being put down to start up that factory flood here. Meanwhile, Dewalt obviously already has that mineral only underway. We're also seeing the Robo support bay as well. Ooh, Observer wanders a little too close to that bunker turret.
Well, if this is not factory flood, it's got to be a command center. But this is such a... That's a star, but this is so weird. Well, we've got a big engagement at the natural. Reaver Zealot bust. Plus
Reaver got
goons.
focused.
Oh, he's going to kill all the tanks. And
Whoa.
there's really not many tanks behind this. So this is a cute attack. Good mine drag. Doesn't actually connect, though. But this just puts a lot of pressure on the Mihu. Meanwhile, Dewalt, you know, he's still got his third base. He's starting to scale his gateway count.
He did lose that Reaver Shuttle combo once again, though. I mean, without that, it's just Dragoons, and Dragoons, you know, are not super scary against pure, you know, Vulture Mine tank. I think it would be very easy here for Dewalt to overextend and lose his map control.
This is a very weird build from Mihu. He's finished his starport. Now he's going into command center. He's now starting his science facility. You can see the armory still spinning. So this is 1-1 Terran, right? 1+1 weapon's already done. So he's going to go for like a 2-2 timing, I guess. Technically, we saw that last game, but I think that was more of Mihu messed up his +2 timing, because he really did rush his armory like he did this game. We've got another shuttle bomb, and this just doesn't work. We know it doesn't work. So the Reaver's technically going to live, but it's already lost the majority of its health.
Yeah, I mean, it's still being annoying, right? It's going to force some more mines, force a reaction. Turret's going to need to be replaced, so Dewalt just staying busy, and I think that's fine. He's already started his 4th base. He wants Mihu to just kind of sit back for a while. Good try.
Yeah,
Whoa! That was
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
that was good. That was good.
He's trying to be fancy with this Reaver and Goon, and it is, you know, messing up Mihu. But Dewalt needs to be also not messing up his own build, which so far he's not. He's got his 4th base coming up. But I still don't see that big building in his main, which is the Stargate. It's just gateways. And it's just so hard to attack into upgraded Terran with just gateways. So hopefully we can get that Stargate coming down pretty soon, because it would... He may be able to get 1 stasis out by the time +2 weapon kicks in.
Yeah, it would be nice here. You know, with Terran taking a 3rd base, I wouldn't have minded to see 2 starport carrier, even given this position as well. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think carriers could have been a good follow-up, especially since Mihu missed his 2-1 timing. But this is also fine for Protoss. But if you're gonna let Terran just get this base, we can't let Terran get mid-right. That would be a travesty. That's gonna be 4 gas. And the mineral only is going to be so easy to take that we've got to prevent that at least. Like, that's our focus here. This base, sure, we can give this up, but mid-right we can't. And we may have another attempted bust here. One thing I've noticed is the Goliath count is really low. Like, it's just 1.
Just 1 shuttle drop in the main. I'm not sure why he just sent the solo shuttle.
I think he was trying to draw the attention there, and then he's going to bust this 3rd, which is exactly what he's doing. Look at how much supply was drawn to the main. It's all vultures, which means that this base is open, but the Zealot Bomb didn't really do much.
Ooh, 2 back Zealots actually getting a good amount of damage onto 2 of those tanks, though. Another shuttle coming in to join the fray. Oh, huge mine connects, though. That's a lot of blue goo, Nyoken.
Yeah, I think the idea is great, but it's just... He's so locked up in his position like that. He didn't even get on top of the tanks, really. So he doesn't have an effective trade there. And Mihu, who was down 40 supply a minute ago, now he's even supply. His +2 weapon's going to kick in about a minute and a half. and that's going to be go time for him. 14 minutes is always go time for Terran.
Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of a pattern here. It feels like Dewalt looks fine until he's maybe overextending a bit, right? He's trying to apply a little too much pressure, which can be good, but he's too prepared.
Yeah, and even with, like, think about it, he sent at least, what, an entire group of Vultures to his main to defend that? And he still didn't get his third base busted. That just tells you how strong of a position Terran is in when they can have literally half their army not there and, what, lost one tank? That's just nuts. So Dewalt now has to try and scramble back to max with a better unit comp or a better positioning, but look at this, he has 9 gates. There's Templar tech, that's it.
I feel like by the time Dewalt maxes, Mihu's going to be maxed.
Oh yeah,
here.
for sure, he's going to be maxed. He's going to have like 8 or 9 facts too.
Yeah, this is rough, man. This is Sylphid. This is what we were talking about. Those bases are just so difficult for Protoss to engage into Terran. There's literally 2 little ramps. You know, Zealots aren't really allowed to have any kind of big flanking from the center of the map, just because everything either needs to be shuttled in or needs to walk in. Meanwhile, Terran can just kind of sit pretty, like on the high ground.
Yep. Terran doing exactly what they should do, is just wait for the powerful upgrades to kick in, use their defensive positioning to trade effectively, and now we've got our first vessel out, so EMP is going to be pretty soon. I don't know if that's a command center at mid-right or an E-bay floating, but Terran's going to be maxed soon, and we're going to have a move out in just a second, and that's the Stargate is just about to finish, so stasis nowhere near being done.
Better late than never, you know. We do have Dewalt, at least getting production up at 12 o'clock here. So if this game goes too much longer, any unit production that comes out at 12 o'clock will be in a good position to flank, or at least defend the 12 o'clock and 12 o'clock natural bases. Stargate's up, obviously, so it'll be interesting to see whether this is going to be Arbiter or Carrier. I'm assuming Carrier. Yeah, not mining that gas top left for this entire time is it's gonna hurt Dewalt's eco here a little bit.
Yeah, and those are probes that you're not going to be thinking about, so they're just probably never going to be mining that gas forever. And if the main and nat gets mined out in the next couple seconds, there's a real chance that Dewalt's just starved and he's sitting there wondering, why do I have no gas? Like, why do I can't build anything? So that's going to be no Arbiters, no Templars. It's just be literally pure Zealot Goon. Now this is, again, another attack at the third base. It hits when Mihu's out of position. It's going to force a pull, but I don't think this is going to be an effective trade. We'll see, though. If he can get the command center, that would be great. Actually, what's Mihu doing? He's just sacking that. That puts him all in, really, with this push.
Yeah, it absolutely does. He'll be down to 2 bases. At the same time, though, Mihu's already setting up outside the natural of Dewalt here. And this is where that production at 12 o'clock is going to come into play here from Dewalt. If he loses the natural, I feel like he wouldn't care. Once again, just like Power Bond.
This is exactly what Dewalt needs to do. Just like on Circuit Breaker. Cut off reinforcements. Yes, Terran's army is scary. What's outside of your base right now. But the real threat is when he's able to consolidate the whole army. If you can cut it off, just produce from the top side like you're saying, and then hit him with a big flank, that's how you stop this attack. You just shut down his third base. Terran's super all in. We're at 17 minutes where Terran's not mining in just a couple of seconds. So all we have to do is shut down this one attack, trade effectively, and Protoss should have this game, but he's got to have a good engagement here.
Yeah, easier said than done, as per usual here. Oh no, Reaver going to be cleaned up here at the third base of Mihu.
Oh no. Went too early. There's nothing in the back at the same time.
Yeah, he needed to flank with this big Dragoon force, it looks like.
Oh my god.
There we go.
But
that is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but Terran can now get across the map. Well, supplies are still even. I guess we're getting again into Power Bond, where he's just going to give up these bases and go for another counterattack. But I've seen this before, Machine, and we know how this went the first time.
Yeah. I mean, everything going to be rallied in from the single entrance once again. Ooh, Storm joining the fray, though. 3 Templar, actually. Looks like 2 of those tanks going to be stormed down. Another one in the back as well. But the Dragoons just not quite getting onto the meat of the army here.
You got the CC, dude, and that means that Terran is literally just on 1 base. Also, tank count is almost nothing. Mihu, he's one of the best at just consistently attacking. You can see he's going to go shut down top left. He's going to kill 3 bases. But Dewalt did kill basically the lone mining base, and now Dewalt has a sizable bank. He's also kept a lot of the Dragoons alive, so he can have a big follow-up attack on this. He just needs to, again, consolidate everything. That's an amazing storm, but it doesn't kill the 3 tanks.
Yeah, it was very close, though. 2 of those tanks are very weakened. And it looks like maybe Dewalt wants to come in here and save some of this. No, he's just going to end up retreating, it looks like.
He's got to save this base. He cannot lose. He can lose the Nexus, but he can't lose the Nexus and probes. That would put him down probably at like 30 probes or something crazy. And I think the Nexus did just die. So it all comes down to this. Can he save the probes? If he can save the probes, I think this is fine for him. But if he loses all of his probes, he's in big trouble.
I mean, he's still got 2 bases mining at 12 o'clock. Should be able to retake his natural at this point as well. And these other top left bases. I mean, maybe if he applies enough pressure or goes for storm drops, Mihu will be forced to sit back.
Yeah, Mihu is sitting back massively. He should even consider floating his main to his 3rd base. Like, this base is so, low in minerals, so you don't want to waste 400 on it just for it to mine out in a second or so. We've got another push to top right. Mihu's now desperate. Yeah, that's a ton of tanks. That's an actual ton of tanks. The wall, you gotta be careful here, dude.
These tanks are kind of in the middle of no man's land, though. If he gets a good rally of Zealot Dragoon here, I feel like these tanks are very vulnerable.
Yeah, not a lot of support for them right now, but Mihu does have a bank, and he has just started to use some of it right there. So if he can stream some Vultures comboed, that's a good storm. Gets 1 tank. Supplies are dangerously close for both sides. I think it's still manageable position for both, especially since Terran now has his mineral only up and running. And the tank count is still solid. It's only 6, but at this point when Protoss is only 127 supply, this is fine. Okay, Dewalt, now he's going to make it weird. We've got a counterattack to the bottom side.
Yeah, this is one of the last mining bases here for Mihu. If he's able to shut this down, it would be big damage. But it looks like the rally of Mihu's just too close at this point.
Yeah, the upgrades are really kicking in for Terran also. 3-2 or 2-2 versus 0-2 for Protoss. But those bombs are exactly what Dewalt needed. And now it's 130 to 90. Now we're starting to reach the moment where Terran is not critical mass on tanks or Vultures. And this could be the time that Protoss needed to get all of his bases stabilized.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing 3 bases now just going online here for Dewalt. Still, though, this is a pretty threatening Vulture tank force. Oh, yeah, you don't want to lose all those. Oh,
yikes.
That hurts. Yikes, man. Yikes is right. 1 tank will fall there, though. We only have just a single remaining tank at that natural 12 o'clock here for Mihu. Dewalt continuing to try to pressure this mineral only as well. I think you need to stop pressuring that mineral only. It's vulnerable. Go for a storm drop there, right? Like, just keep your units together and hang on to 12 o'clock at this point.
Yeah, this base getting taken out. I think Dewalt really needs to focus on saving this base. Like, it's not that many tanks that are just continuing to push through. If he can... Oh my gosh, did he just EMP the probes?
Yeah, the cannons, yeah, I guess so.
There's only 1 tank here, really, as the majority of the firepower. Zealot, okay, Zealot's going to come in and actually clean it up, or should clean it up. So Dewalt is going to save this base. One of the cannons remains, but there's no observer, so these goons may all die to these mines. Oh, those Goliaths at the back are so strong with the +2 armor.
Yeah, those probes will never kill them at this point. We finally have those rallying Dragoons coming in here, though, but not before so many probes have fallen from Dewalt here.
He's lost so many probes. Protoss has done a really good job to get all of his bases back up and running at top left, like the mineral only, and that high ground base, but losing all those probes, now Mihu is in striking distance, 105 to 95. He's also stabilized the mineral only and his high ground base, and with that high ground base mining out soon, he could potentially lift to top right or bottom left if he wants.
Yeah, he's gonna need to. I mean, even that third base is not, you know, going to be around for too much longer here. So Mihu will need to take another base at some point. Still, man, I mean, this has been devastating damage to the eco of Dewalt at this point, losing that natural at 12 o'clock. It really feels like he's just trying to get a footing back in this game.
Yeah, this is a wild game. I think Dewalt feels the pressure to not let Terran take mid-right, but Dewalt's still fine right now. He's starting to take his natural. I hope he does not get too worried that this base is up and running, because he should know that the high ground base, it mines out quickly. So even if Terran gets mid-right, there's still just going to be 2 base mining versus what does Dewalt have? He has top, all of top, that's 3 right there, plus his naturals up and running. So technically he's still on 4 bases versus 2. So just keep it together, and I think he's still okay, but the supplies are just getting so dangerous.
And
then
Jaziri with the big $222 tip there. Thank you so much for your support, man. Appreciate it.
Well, I think both players realize that the game's a little too wild and we need to stabilize bases. That's exactly what Mihu's doing. He's floating to mid-right, even his main command center. He should get that because there's no Arbiter, there's no mass shuttle man anymore. And if we look at the tank spread, it's pretty good, pretty solid. I don't think there's really anywhere Dewalt can attack.
Ooh, Storm Drop it looks like at the mineral only though, taking out actually not as many SCVs as I thought, but still doing some good damage, preventing a lot of that remaining mining here for Mihu. Yeah, I like this from Mihu, lifting the main command center to take mid-right. He's absolutely going to need another base here as this third base just, you know, starts to fizzle out for him. But, you know, still he's also giving time for Dewalt, as you said, to just restabilize, take those remaining bases that he had secured already. Oh, Shuttle falls with the Templar in it. So he's got to be careful.
Yeah. I don't know if he would have been able to use them anyways because that shuttle's so low and the turrets attack pretty darn fast. But good pick off from Mihu. And we do now have Protoss on 5 base mining versus Terran, who's only on really 2 bases. Low SCV count also, but he's rebuilding it. And again, supplies are still close, but the issue really is Protoss has like no upgrades, man. He's still stuck on +2. He doesn't have an Arbiter. He doesn't really have any high-tech units at all, other than, you know, a couple storms here and there. I guess Reaver is technically a high-tech unit, but this is 25 minutes in the game. It's really hard to make those be effective.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Mihu doing a great job denying so much of this vision as well to Dewalt across the map. We're not seeing a ton of observers really keeping tabs on you know, troop movements, vulture move outs here. Man, these vultures doing so much damage still to Dewalt here.
I like how there's 3 zealots there, a cannon and a reaver, and the vulture's like, you know what, that ain't enough, and he gets all the kills onto the probe line.
Yeah, that was pretty devastating damage. We actually see you know, Dewalt still 174 supply, it looks like, trying to pick off this turret, create an opening here for additional Reaver harass. And I mean, with just pure vulture tank here.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought he was going to try and splash the SCVs with the tank shot.
It would have been nice because those SCVs are still fairly weak from the storm timing.
Yeah, and I like how this one Reaver just draws so much supply out of position. Getting an eBay, you know, not the most expensive thing, but it does get some vision off the map. Like, both players really don't have much vision on the center. Like, they really only have vision around all their bases, but we finally have someone reaching max. It's going to be Dewalt, but again, where do you attack into? He doesn't, he has one Arbiter, that's it. He really needs to get at least, I would say, 3 stasis available to him to be able to trade effectively.
I'd like to see a recall mid-right once Mihu moves out, honestly.
It could be good, but if Mihu moves out, he's most likely moving out to top middle, right? So I feel like he would probably just insta turn around and smash it. So we'll see if he wants to recall. Oh my gosh, is he gonna go now? I don't think this is the time.
No,
this is
this
so
is not the
many
time.
tanks. This
They're
is so
all in the
many
high
tanks.
ground.
Yes, they're.
this
Oh
is
my
not the call.
god, this is gonna be an amazing trade for Mihu. The shuttles. Well, they're doing good damage, but those tanks on the high ground, man, there's 7 of them. Dewalt still kills, I think, the maximum that he's going to kill there.
Still, great trade
Oh,
for
no.
Mihu. Like you said, there's just too many tanks on that high ground. That was never going to go any other way.
Yeah, oh, geez, and look how many tanks are even behind it. Like, it's just a never-ending tank line. He also lost all of his shuttles and the Arbiter, so everything gets reset. And now Terran is almost even in supply, still up like 4 upgrades on his ground, because he's got 3-3 or 3-2 versus just a 2-0 Protoss army. Or, okay, actually 3-1, so not bad.
Yeah, still, I mean, how do you really just don't trade great with ground versus mech, you know, once Terran gets that 3-2. So every trade from now on for Dewalt, you can kind of expect to, you know, go Terran's way here.
Yep, I think Terran's done it, actually. Terran's going to push, and what this push does is it eliminates the middle base, and Protoss is about to mine out on almost every other base. So he has to slam this attack one more time, and instead he's going to counter, and this is an interesting move.
I mean, we've been saying it, right? Like, you should be countering as Protoss. Still, though, this is just trading a single base and a bunch of SCVs for all of Dewalt's remaining bases for the most part.
This does cut off Terran's army again, and now Protoss is up army, well, up supply. I don't know if he's up army, but again, we have another scenario where Terran's army is cut off. Terran is only mining on 1 base. For now, Protoss is mining on 3, but he's going to be mined out pretty soon, so if we're going to engage this army, we've got to do it in the next minute or so. That is so many tanks, though.
Yeah, tons of tanks. Huge EMP going down as well from Mihu, softening up this remaining force. No, don't go in.
Stasis! Stasis! He's got a stasis! That's huge! But he needs more stuff! He needs to get all of his army together. I think now Mihu can potentially try and consolidate.
I mean, Dewalt's at least buying himself a lot of time. There is still mining going on at 12 o'clock at that other middle base, and meanwhile, Mihu's down to just the mineral only.
Yeah, but Terran's army is just massive. Like, the SCV count is lacking, so supply, like the army supply is probably nearly the same right now. And Terran is just, he's just barely holding on. He's not even going to get these stasis units, I don't think. Okay, maybe he will, since Terran just gave them up. So that's going to be a good catch for Dewalt. I thought he needed more than that, but that's a great trade. Finally, he's going to get a lot of tanks here. We're going to have a storm drop. The Arbiter does get EMP'd, though. Zealots on top of the tanks. Is there enough? Mihu, he was moving to bottom left with his army for some reason, so half of his army's not here. And this was finally the trade that Dewalt was looking for.
I can't believe it. This is just unreal to me.
Oh
I thought Dewalt was dead a few minutes ago.
Dude, Machine, look at Mihu's gas. He can't build tanks. He cannot build tanks. If you can't build tanks, you can't win versus Protoss.
I thought Terran just needed vultures, though. That's what I hear from every Protoss.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Reaver at that high ground, and like you said, Mihu was splitting his force, trying to secure yet another base here, bottom left, and Dewalt just picked the most optimal timing. We're seeing supply is 83 for Mihu to the 156 of Dewalt. Dewalt now feeling comfortable enough to retake that natural at the 12 o'clock position, and looks like he's kind of going for a big surround here.
Oh my gosh, great stasis. Hits a lot of the army. Like I said, there's no tanks. So there's these 3 tanks. Once they die, that's it. Then all that's left is going to be vultures. But we don't have an observer. Oh, we do have an observer. Goons need to be careful. They're taking a lot of damage to just this single tank and mines. But with this... Oh, where'd those come from?
I don't know, man. They must have just drop shipped in there or something. Yeah, he's not going to win this fight. Once again, he's going to be pushed off.
Oh, he unsieged. He's going to try and get closer to the ledge so he can save these units. Zealots moving in. Are there enough? Like, the goons aren't synced up. D-Matrix, fantastic. Oh, more Zealots moving in. But the tanks come unstasis.
Yeah, this is just unoptimal stasis timing here. It looks like once those tanks are unstasis on the low ground, everything from Dewalt's just going to get melted here, it looks like.
Dude, this game is insane. Look at Dewalt's minerals or available mining bases. Top middle's gone. Top left is going to be gone in a second. The mineral only is gone. The natural's gone. He needs to start taking all of top right. I don't think he can take his close third base. We got another shuttle bomb here. Storm would be amazing,
Please
but
be
again, it's another zealot bomb. He takes down the Goliath and the tank, so that's great from him. Oh, the Goliath does not get the kill.
Nope. Does get that shuttle finally at the end here. And now a Vulture counter going to remove one of the only remaining bases from Dewalt. Is Mihu coming back?
I don't even know anymore, man. I thought Dewalt had this game, but now he's about to be not mining, dude. Like, please save top right. We need that base. Oh my gosh, I've seen that move so many times before. Protoss just running in with the Zealot. These Vultures are heavily upgraded, so that's a dead Nexus.
Yeah, that's going to be a dead Nexus. I still don't think Mihu's found this center base. Okay, I lied. He found it. 2 cannons are there to try to defend here, but I mean, these upgrade Vultures are going to tear down these cannons instantly.
Yeah, 3-2 Vultures do not care about 2 cannons. Maybe 3 is different. Oh no, he's going to intercept the probes!
I don't think he expects him to do that. Oh,
he just saw the transfer. Oh, he doesn't go, so... Oh my god, this is wild. DeWalt, you need another base, man. Terran's technically mining more than you in just a moment.
Yeah, stop attacking, man. Just stop. Just sit and take your bases. You're making this harder than you need to.
Like, he's got so much control over the top side of the map. He knows Terran is basically mined out on that mineral only. He's reset the tank count so many times. This is when you start, like, if you're really thinking about the game, like, how much gas can this guy be mining at this point, right? The main's mined out, the natural's mined out. It can't be much. So you know that the tank count can't be high. Terran can't attack without a tank count. So stabilize the top, take the mineral only. But Mihu, he's holding on, man.
Yeah, I don't know how, man. He's just, I don't know. He just keeps continuing to fight here. This group of Vultures is just running around wreaking havoc at this point. Still, though, Dewalt is stabilizing. He has that 12 o'clock natural once again. As you said, he's got to start moving towards that mineral-only top right, or maybe even the high ground mid-right, if he wants to, you know, have a hope of continuing this game.
Yeah, top, like, okay, first we got to get top right, and then the point of contention is mid-right or the high ground base outside of Protoss's main. If Terran can get either one of those, I think Terran wins. But we got to get top right up and running. Like, now Terran has a decent army. Like, sure, the tank count... Yeah, the tank... Oh, a recall in the main. Okay, if he can stasis something to prevent stuff from getting back, that's the move that we're looking for. Or storm everything as it comes in. Like that.
I kind of don't like this recall. I think this is just going to get completely cleaned up here.
It is going to get cleaned up. He needs to kill at least a factory or something. We got to get value out of this. We can't lose the Arbiter. The Arbiter's going to die.
I mean, the value is he's buying time, right? That's one thing.
Yeah, he does buy time. He's still up 30 supply, but Terran only lost Vultures on that trade. This base is going to be mined out soon. Protoss is only on 1 base mining in just a second. He's going to get top right up and running, so he will be on 2 base soon. Mihu's about to mine out that mineral only. Terran now has a real army. That's the problem, is now Terran has a real army, and we just lost one of our critical arbiters. Also, the Vessel is still alive, so EMP is still available, and I'm hoping that that arbiter on the high ground at the natural of Dewalt, okay, he does see it there, and that's a great recall. Okay, this puts Terran all in. We are all in now, but I feel like I've said that 5 times this game, and we're not all in.
Yeah, he's at least going to be targeting down that center base here. Oh, nice stasis pickup on the solo vessel and a tank there.
Well, this is also weird because now we gotta start considering how many scans does he actually have. Like if his main is floated, so there's 2 scans. There's one that just went off. Right now he has 4 scans available. One got burned right there, so he still has a decent amount of scans. That's another. Oh, he does save the Arbiter. That's great.
Looks like Dewalt trying to get in position to go for a flank here. Nope, he's gonna counter mid-right. I love this, man. He's just continues to counter, and it's really throwing Mihu off.
Yep, this is good. And Dewalt already got his bases set up at top right, so he can make moves like this now. We've got another good stasis right there. But the Protoss army just isn't very big. Okay, we've got units coming from the back. Great stasis. Wow. There's no tanks anymore. And Dewalt, he may have done it. However, that was a huge mine hit again. Mihu, he never says die. Jeez, where did those come from, man? How? We're not mining. We're not mining gas. They just appear out of thin air.
That's really what it seems like. I mean, those are huge stasis, but at the same time, I think this is still too much Mihu. I think Dewalt's going to need to back out.
These tanks are going to unstasis, and he's going to get run over. He needs to get out of there, dude. Terran is down 40 supply, but Terran's also probably down 40 workers. Look at this. Yeah. Arbiter kills the vessel.
I mean, do you just make Arbiters here and try to kill up?
Look at Mihu's money. He can't build a Goliath. So that means that the Arbiter is actually going to start racking up kills.
Wow, he can barely build an SCV at this point. Looks like everything going to be rallied top right here. All the tanks are pretty low.
Yeah, Storms will kill everything. He just transferred all of his SCVs, which are like 8, to mid-right. Okay, maybe a little more than 8, like 12. Dewalt's almost out of money too, but there's no anti-air. But we don't have like 8 Arbiters. Like if there's 8 Arbiters, we can kill Goliath like head on. But with only 2, okay, we need the Storms. There's good one. Need another one. There's another good one. Protoss is getting all of their bases breached.
Yeah, they absolutely are, man. We're looking at the supplies. It's 57 to 103 for Dewalt.
Okay, there we go. There's a recall. Shuts down this base, but is this enough army to stop Mihu? Mihu mined enough to build 1 Goliath. If we can kill the Arbiters, I think we're fine.
I don't know if he can kill the Arbiters.
He's got money there.
Yeah, 92. He can make two Goliaths.
These Arbiters, dude, 1 Goliath would have won the game for him. Look at this. These Arbiters that have no upgrades have killed like 6 tanks. Those 2 Goliaths that can't get across the map, though.
Yeah, he does have the 2 Goliaths now, so maybe if they can join up with these tanks, there could be a serious threat here for Dewalt. Dewalt just kind of running away.
Okay, there's Protoss' army. I'm like, there's no way we can have 90 supply and only 5 goons. It's over at the left side. He's got a good stasis. If he eliminates the Goliath, he can run rampant.
He was focusing it down. Goliath's about half health now.
Goliath in a dream. Oh, with the stasis.
Man, I mean, if he can just keep doing this with the Arbiter, maybe Dewalt's going to need to start long-distance mining some of these bases here, just for a little extra production. We're seeing, though, Mihu down to only 15 supply. One of the last remaining command centers here going to be focused down from this Goon Arbiter force of Dewalt. Dewalt's got to be careful, though. I don't see any observers with this. There's still plenty of mines on the map.
Yeah, of course killing a command center is fantastic, but he already has another one. I don't even know how many SCVs he has. He has 2 SCVs, dude. That's it. That one's going to die. So he has, what is that, 3 SCVs. That's it.
Wow. Unbelievable here.
Well, I think finally we can call it because there's not enough scans. Command centers are dying. 2 Goliaths can technically kill all the Arbiters, but how do we kill the goons now?
Yeah, I don't think we do.
Holy
GG is called. Whoa, man. What a ridiculous game that was, man. Dewalt does it, pulls it back, and yeah, Suddenly, we are once again back into a head-to-head between these two. This is nuts.
Yeah, 2-2. That may have been the best game of all time in BSL. Just absolutely absurd. How many times do we think somebody was winning? Like at least 8 times, I would say. You're thinking this guy's got it. This guy's got it. Unreal crisis management from Mihu. If he had any sort of like additional 50 minerals where he could build one freaking Goliath man, all those arbiters would have died. And I think he could have won if he had like 40 supply. What was it, 40 versus 90? I think he could have won with just that because Protoss actually had probes. We had no SCV, so it was pure army. Oh my gosh. I didn't think it could get better than Sziky versus Mihu because that was absolute destruction. That was just amazing Zerg play, but that one tops it all.
Yeah, that was, I mean, just incredible, man. And just about every time we wanted to count Dewalt out, he would just go in for those counter plays, prevent any future mining, cut off reinforcements, just as Protoss should do. And yeah, he would just shake the game back up, make it interesting, and he just kept on hanging on, man. It was very, very well done from Dewalt there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Insane. Normally we don't go into breaks, Zero, but I think you should ask them if they want to break after that one. Maybe they just want to keep going. I'm fine with that, but...
Yeah, sounds like we're going to go to a quick break here, folks, so... stay tuned for some more incredible action. Hopefully we get another game just like that last one on Sylphid, but we'll be back here in a few minutes with some more BSL action. Hey everybody, welcome back. BSL16, Dewalt, Mihu, and we just saw an incredible set on Sylphid between both these players. Dewalt coming out on top to tie up the series to 2-2 in this best of 7 here. But yeah, man, I don't know what I was really expecting going into this series. I knew it was going to be obviously pretty epic, maybe the best PvT player outside Korea facing off against maybe the best TVP outside Korea, but man, that was just unbelievable. It was mind-blowing, man, to see just the amount of times each of these players were in a winning position and kind of clutched it, you know, to come back from behind and extend the game, extend the series, just doing what needed to be done to really continue on here. And yeah, it looks like map 5 here going to be Odyssey, and with this, you know, both our players are ready, folks. They just want to jump right into it here. So let's go to game 5, Mihu versus Dewalt. And spawning top right as the red Terran from China, it is Mihu.
And in the bottom left, it is none other than Dewalt. And you know, Machine, I actually had a feeling that we're going to have in-base proxies on this map. You know, Dewalt is somebody that does that, as we've seen already in this BSL, but not going to happen this time around. I think it could have been effective this time. I'm curious if we will see Mihu scout his main, just to see if it would have actually gotten scouted. But we do. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you think that's a response to the Butter game? You know, we did see the proxy there, and it didn't really end up, you know, playing in favor of Dewalt.
Yeah, it could be. It definitely could be. If you get shut down that hard, maybe you reconsider going for something like that. Now, I'm looking at how the SimCity is set up. You see that depot? If he puts like a racks right below it, or right to the side, and then a depot next to the refinery, that could be like a complete wall off where the Zealot has no access into the main. Now that could have been cute if we did have gates in the main. Now that racks is so far to the left, is I guess that gateways would have gotten scouted. So I guess my idea would have actually kind of backfired.
I mean, unless it's like top left there where Zero's kind of pointing, but yeah, I don't know. Either way, we won't be seeing that, but still, you know, nice to see that Mihu is thinking of that. Obviously, as you'd expect, someone of his caliber, you know, has to have played this map a few times and run into some proxy gates. But it's actually going to be Mihu with the quicker scout. We're seeing an SUV moving across the center of the map here. Core already down for Dewalt, and I feel like that's skipping a Zealot once again.
Yep, and we do have just normal gas opener from both sides. No scouting this time, so Dewalt wants to get his econ a little bit ramped up. Now, Mihu did pull off of gas and then put back onto gas. And I'm curious what that means. We're still mining gas, Machine.
Yeah, Mihu's not the player to, you know, that's not a mistake. He's not slipping up and accidentally leaving those on gas. I mean, don't tell me this is like 2-fact.
Yeah, did his name change? Does that say BSL15
Artosis?
Artosis? Okay,
he did forget. I love it. He did actually just continue mining for a second. Not the biggest deal, but yeah, I like how he got our caster brains thinking there just by mining the gas a little bit longer. Oh shoot.
Yeah, I wonder.
Well,
I was gonna say, I wonder if that actually is calculated somehow into his build. Maybe he needs like the extra 50 gas for whatever reason.
Siege or something faster.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Everything so far looks identical to what he's been playing before, which is the 3 Marine expand. Goon is going to kill this SCV off. Now, I wouldn't hate it if SCV dies and we instantly put down a Citadel.
Oh, we did see a pro move, but nope, looks like it's going to be Natural Nexus. Actually, Mihu getting his own Natural Command Center at the exact same time. Yeah, why not, though? Throw in one game in a best of 7, open up DTs. Obviously, Mihu has been very diligent and has been prepared, I believe, with fairly quick eBay, just about every single one of these games here so far, so, you know, maybe it's a good call that Dewalt doesn't go for some kind of a risky play like that, but who knows.
Yeah, literally every game it's been a fast eBay and this mine opener that he's just consistently gone for. Again, the second goon is on hold position, and the vulture does get here before the third goon could get out. But for now, Protoss or Terran really doesn't have much. I don't think he has the bunker done yet. And getting this vulture is huge. That eliminates 3 mines from the map. Whether they connect or not does not matter. That's just mines that Protoss doesn't have to worry about anymore.
Yep, and we're seeing that from him. Dewalt is moving straight to that natural, not a care in the world with those 2 Dragoons. Probe's transferring at his own natural at the same time here. And looks like a 3rd Dragoon even moving across the map at the same time.
Yeah, I like this play where Dewalt actually went into a fast second gate. If Mihu had opened like 3 vultures just straight up, then Dewalt would have a freaking ton of goons, and he's going to jump on it again, and he does get it.
Got it. Yeah, trading a tank for a Dragoon there, very worth for Dewalt. He's got to be feeling good at the start of this one.
Yeah, and he also confirms that this guy's going for more vultures, and when you see another vulture come out, well, you start thinking, well, this guy might be going starport. 100% this guy's not going a second factory, because you would never be building vultures this early. So it's either going to be the armory like we see, or starport, and he's going to be pretty good with his opener with the 2-gate into Reaver play versus both of those.
Now, Odyssey, what do you... how do the in-base bases, like in the main bases, like third bases, kind of play out for this matchup, TVP? Do you see a lot of Protoss try to sneak that early third base inside their own main? Or Terran? Or...
I think Protoss can do that, but I think it's a little more difficult for Terran because Terran's going to have to build dropships to get units over there, or Wraiths, or they're going to have to do something to actually get units into that position. So I don't think that's really going to come into play. This map strikes me more like an optimizer map where you have your additional gas, and that makes 7-fact timings stronger because you just have, you know, infinity tanks.
Okay. I don't like the mid-left third being taken here. I feel like this always ends up being a mistake no matter the matchup. There's just that high... Wow, he broke the bunker somehow. This is silly. Like, Dewalt is not really trying to get a ton of damage done. It's kind of happening.
Yeah, I think the mid-left base is fine because, like I said, when you see vultures after a vulture opener, then a tank, and then a vulture again, this does look like it could be drops. I don't know if you want to be taking a third base that you can't get zealots and goons to into a guy that's likely opening dropship. Now, this is pretty crazy, but it... Oh, the Reaver!
Ooh, it didn't get shot by the mine.
Oh my gosh, all those units are stuck! All those units are stuck, there's no siege! This is why you always have to have siege at 6 minutes! And that means that all these tanks are dead.
Yeah, no siege, no mines. Does have a tank on the high ground, though. One mine will be going down next to that tank. But still, this is, I mean, just more damage being dealt here from Dewalt.
Yeah, that was a worthwhile trade for sure, especially since SCVs didn't continue to mine. If Mihu didn't have to transfer his SCVs, maybe it would have been even. But now, he's lost a lot of mining time. Third base is up and running for Dewalt. And now, also the Reaver confirms that, hey, this guy rushed army. I'm not sure if he saw the starport, but he at least knows that he doesn't have to worry about counter drops. Okay.
Tank is a little weakened.
There's nothing there. Oh, goons are here now. This is so annoying.
Yeah, this is big damage from Dewalt, man. You can't make mistakes against him. He will make you pay for it. Goliath falling, and now there's no anti-air for the shuttle once again. It's like Dragoon's trying to get on top of that siege tank at the natural here. More SCVs falling as well.
Yeah, I think you just back off of this. This is successful damage. Okay, or you just pop a couple SCVs. 75 to 48 supply, that's amazing for Terran, but we know Mihu is just so impenetrable with his defense that now he's on the back foot. I imagine he just continues to camp the game out at this point. So if I'm Dewalt here and I've done this much damage, you know what's a good follow-up from Goon Reaver? It's carriers. And this map has a lot of ledges. I would love to see carriers.
I would love to see it too, man. I was meaning to say, really, now that we're, you know, a 5th game into this series, we're starting to see kind of the same reactions play out. Dewalt gets himself in a good position economically, but where he loses it is once he gets ahead. He's continuing to pressure in maybe not optimal situations, right? Pressuring into tanks on high ground, pressuring into mines, trying to do mass counter shuttle drops when Mihu is just buttoned up and prepared. I'd love to see carriers here, and I think it's maybe something that, you know, could catch Mihu off guard.
Yeah, he just scanned and he saw that there's only gateways. Protoss knows that this guy rushed an armory, so 2-1, you know, would be completed by the time carriers come out, so you're never, like, super ecstatic about that, but we've just dealt so much damage, and you know that Terran's only on 2 facts. Terran can't attack you, so I would have loved the carriers, but as played, this is fine. He's still up 40 supply. If he's going to play like this, though, he needs to take another base, or just max out as soon as possible and try and bust down this Nat. Oh, good focus fire from the tank.
Yeah, great pickup, though, from the Reaver there of Dewalt.
Gotta be careful. Those Goliaths, I guess, don't have range yet, so not able to knock that shuttle down. And one thing I did notice when we looked at Dewalt's Nexuses is he wasn't mining gas at his Nat for a long time. He also wasn't pumping probes like that. So I don't know what his probe count is right now, but if it is lacking, and we do have another big engagement, you know, where Dewalt just shoves in with shuttles and Mihu has a effective defensive trade, Mihu would be back in this game.
Yeah, I feel like that's honestly what we're going to see here. Dewalt definitely seems to be cutting probes, and I mean, we're seeing him mass up so many units right outside the natural of Mihu here.
This is going to be another bust. Tricky. This is going to be another bust machine. Zealots already have speed. You know that this guy's playing defensive, so what's the reasoning for rushing speed? It can only be for a bust, and he draws the units out of position, and there's no mine set up. A perfect bait!
Yeah, no mine set up. Wow, huge surround from those Zealots. Dewalt doing a great job kind of splitting, preventing as much splash as he can here. Shuttle does fall without dropping a Reaver, though, but there's just too many units here from Dewalt.
I think we're going to see Red say GG any moment now. Goons and Zealots on top of everything. SCV's being pulled again. This is like 8-gate production from Protoss. He can just rally. SCV's trying to hold the line, but those are Zealots and Goons, man.
Yeah, GG finally called there from Mihu, and Dewalt taking a lead for the first time in this series, man, against Mihu. Wow. You know, it was funny when you said Dewalt I'd like to see him open Citadel this game. It's maybe the first game we saw where Mihu didn't have the fastest eBay, and because of that, wasn't really able to deal with the early, you know, Reaver pressure after getting the solo tank picked off. So Dewalt took a small lead and turned it into a big advantage there early on.
Yeah, and the main thing was not having siege. If there's siege and Protoss just bulldozers into that, well, Protoss deserves whatever happens to them. But when Terran has no siege at that point, I mean, it's just free pickings like you saw. Like, I played a game versus Stork years ago, and the exact same thing happened. I had a lot of tanks, a lot of stuff set up, but no siege. And he's like, no siege? He just runs in with his Reaver and kills everything. And that's exactly what happened there. So that was a mistake from Mihu, mistiming his siege. I think he would have held there. But really nice bust. That's the first effective bust Dewalt has had. And I like the drop, because what the drop did, not only drew the units out of position, but you notice how this time Mihu had 0, the goose egg, mines at his natural, and the Zealots just ran straight through.
Yeah. One of those rare moments where Mihu didn't have mines, right? He's usually so diligent about it, but Dewalt just, I mean, continued the drop pressure. There was just so much going on that he had he just finally wasn't set up for a change. So very well done from Dewalt. We were kind of harping on, how much we didn't think the drop play was really going to be effective against Mihu, but man, he's just playing his own style and he's making it work here. But it looks like map number 6 going to be Vermeer here. That's going to be a great map. I know Dewalt absolutely favors the map, but it's actually looks to be Mihu's pick here. So this is going to be a little interesting.
Yep, and our players are ready, so we are on match point for Dewalt. Can he close it out, or will we get to game 7?
And spawning top left of Vermeer as the blue Terran, it is Mihu.
And in the top right are red Protoss. One game away, it's Dewalt. And this is a huge map for both sides. Obviously for Mihu, because if he loses here, he's out. But you don't want to go into Game 7 Nemesis. 100%. Completely different from all the other maps. So imperative, both sides get a win here.
Yeah, Nemesis, that's got to be pretty unique for this matchup. Does it favor, Terran or Protoss over the other race?
I don't know if it favors either race, but just thinking about it, it's a nightmare to face carriers because you just can't hit them. If they're not in the center of the map, you're just not fighting them. Drops are nuts on that map. But also, when I watch pros play, pushes are amazing. And we know Blue at top left here knows how to push. And he hasn't pushed in any of the series. So I think if we get into Nemesis, that's going to finally be the 4-fact push. And it's going to be hard for Dewalt to stop.
Yeah, fair enough. I would like to see that if we do get to Game 7 here. I've seen Protoss even proxy gateways at those locked-in, mid-base locations and make DTs and, just kill the eggs with DTs in a few swipes, and suddenly you have DTs in your main. It can be a little tough to deal with.
Yeah, you got to be very diligent with your scouting because you can literally proxy tech anywhere. And we have Mihu again going for a quick scout. Well, it's actually a normal scout, but I guess it's quick in the sense that, I don't see Dewalt scouting at all again.
Yeah, Mihu's had the consistent, faster scout, I feel like every game in the series so far, which is kind of unique. Protoss, though, is, I feel like the meta has been to scout a little bit later and really just focus on early mining as well, so Dewalt doing a good job of that.
Yeah, and we do have... Is it Zealot opener this time? I don't think it is. I think it's just another Goon opener. He's learned so far that Zealot just doesn't get its value versus Mihu, and I think that's a smart move from him. And most likely we're just going to have another 3 Marine expand. No reason for really either side to deviate their build orders.
Yeah, there hasn't, really been any big weaknesses at this point in the game, right? Mihu's done a great job holding, especially when Dewalt, was doing that early pressure with 2 Zealots into a Dragoon with a probe. It did not seem to end in Dewalt's favor, so, why run the risk? But yeah, it looks like, once again, just going to be a standard fact expand here from Mihu. Meanwhile, Dewalt, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go Dragoon into Dragoon range, early Robo, support bay, like Reaver, like we've been seeing. But yeah, I'm surprised. What I'm honestly surprised about is we have not seen a single 12 necks in any game of this whole best of 7.
No 12 necks and no gasless. Literally both sides have opened, other than the Zealot, like literally the same opener every single game. Even this Vulture opener is the same. I don't think we've had a single 2 Marine expand, a single game where he opens tank first. It's always been Vulture. The only time I guess it was not that technically was when we played Butter. That was it.
Yeah. We are seeing a little bit of a adjustment here out of Mihu with the later bunker. He's kind of caught on that Dewalt, I feel like, is not going for any kind of early Zealot pressure. So he feels like he could delay this quite a bit, get the earlier command center. And it's probably a good call.
That was dangerous. He shows 2 goons. Okay, the 3rd goon does get in position in time. And I like this more than the past few games because now his goons are there faster. He can intercept the vulture coming back. And also he's already harassing that bunker.
Yeah, that range is very quick out of Dewalt. Should be able to apply some pressure. This time, though, Mihu making it out with that vulture. If you'll recall, last game, that vulture got caught. Then the first tank got caught, and it kind of just snowballed from there.
Yeah, this is a cute move, but does get spotted. And 2 goons are still shelling that bunker.
Ooh.
Tank is out, though.
Yeah, Dewalt gonna need to be careful. Siege tanks are pretty good.
They are pretty good, but the vulture being alive means that there will be mines set up somewhere on the map. Dewalt's Robo already done. Didn't see observatory or support bay anywhere. That's not it either. And that is going to be observer.
Okay. Do you think there's a chance he might skip the support bay?
I think versus Mihu, who timing attacks often, I think it would be a big mistake to skip Reaver. It just shuts down all timings. But this is... Whoa, I thought it was another armory opener because the second factory was a little slower than I expected, but I don't see that anywhere. It is just a delayed second fact, and that's probably an eBay that's going to go up.
You think we could be seeing 4-fact?
Yeah, this looks more like Mihu's golden build, the 4-fact with high SCV count. The real question is, what does he do as a transition? Is he expanding, or like is he sitting in his base with the 4-fact and expanding, or is he going to 4-fact and push?
I think he's gonna push. It looks like he's scouting out here with a couple vultures, maybe trying to view a 3rd base. But yeah, I don't know, man. This looks like a good game as any for a 4-fact.
Yeah, I think at this point where you haven't 4-facted all day long, you know, you're potentially on your last leg here. You might as well try a different style and try and win with the build that got you so many victories in previous BSLs. But this is a 6-minute armory. This is a very normal timing armory, so this may actually just be normal eco 2-1.
Yeah, it could be. There's still hope, though. I want to see 2 more factories go down.
Well, there we go. The siege kicks in, and 6-minute siege. That means goon bust not happening, Reaver bust definitely not happening. And now Dewalt's just gonna have to take his 3rd base, start planning his next step.
Yeah, Vulture did scout that 3rd base completion. It is Robo support bay, looks like, out of Dewalt here, so likely going to be building that shuttle Reaver here shortly. We also saw a fairly quick eBay, obviously, once again, so turret rings starting to go down. Academy also being produced here for Mihu.
Yep, Goon's going to clear out these mines, and more than likely Dewalt's just going to go take his 4th base. But the problem for Dewalt is I don't think the observer has gotten in, and you're playing somebody that timing attacks often. So if you 4 base and you have late gates like he's actually had the past few games, you're just dead. You're actually just dead. So what this observer needs to do if it can't get in is at least scout this command center that's building on the high ground.
Yeah.
That will give him the knowledge he needs that say, hey, well, I know you're not timing attacking me, so I can just go take another base.
I was going to say, if I'm Dewalt here and I see that 3rd command center, I think I put down 2 Stargates and go carrier.
You could do that also. That's actually pretty meta, I guess, right now, as a lot of players are going 3 Nexus, triple Stargate instead of 2 Nexus, double Stargate. Vulture's going to sneak in here, rack up a couple of probe kills, of course.
Yeah, just always finds an entrance, always finds an opportunity. Man, he got even another probe there. That hurts. That stings a little bit if you're Dewalt.
Yep, and Dewalt is actually going to take another base. There's the first Reaver, and there is the 4-fact, and Starport almost done. So everything pretty normal for Mihu right now, hitting his factory timing, hitting his 3rd base, and Starport timing this time. So this does really look like it's going to be 2-1. And again, we're going to have Dewalt try and make something happen here. He's actually got a decent amount of goons. He might be able to get in here. Gotta unload that Reaver, though.
tanks are set up. I'd love to see a tank on that high ground. Not the case, though.
I think he might barely have enough. It depends on these mine shots.
Wow.
The
Good
Reaver's got
splitting
unload,
with
though.
the Dragoon. Yeah,
Reaver's
Reaver
got
needs to get
unload.
on top of that last tank.
Oh
And
my
it falls.
gosh. He's reset the tank count, and that's massive for him. He's, of course, Mihu king of defense, so he's 100% not out of this game. But that's a huge win for Dewalt. It alleviates so much pressure on the map. But that's an open third base.
Vulture's going straight for it, too. It's almost like he knows, man. Getting right on top of this mineral line. And suddenly, Dewalt taking massive, massive eco damage here to just a handful of vultures.
Oh yeah, that's the move that Mihu needed to stabilize this game. But relentlessly, a second drop into the main. Luckily for Mihu, his armory already completed that upgrade, so he's not going to have +1 denied, which would have been massive. And Dewalt's going to lose all of his stuff with this drop. But it is going to trade effectively.
Yeah, it's going to trade pretty well here, killing off turrets. Those are going to need to be remade because obviously Dewalt being so diligent with these drops in every game in this set so far. I mean, Dewalt's just got to be probe man right now, man.
Yep, he needs to get his probe count back up because Mihu has brought the supply pretty close. It's 100 to 87. He's got 3 command centers and he has 7 factories already. So a lot of production available to him, and we know that he never misses SCVs, never ever. So he'll have his econ online in just a second.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dewalt, I mean, that 4th base hasn't really done much for him as of yet. Probe saturation actually looks better than I thought. Yeah, that's a lot of probes. Fair enough.
Yeah,
so he's got to be feeling good.
Yeah, that's good. Good saturation for him. He just needs to get his gateways up, get his tech up, get his production online, because Mihu's going to shoot up in supply real quick now that he's transferred himself some SCVs to his 3rd base. I didn't notice a Stargate in the main, so again, it's going to be Shuttleman and Templars.
Yeah, I'm surprised no Stargate, you know, not opting to at least get to that Arbiter tech before the inevitable timing hits here from Mihu. Probe moving down bottom right to maybe even take a 5th base. That's great.
Yeah, he may be able to take that, but these goons are going to lose their lives basically for free. May not even kill a single vulture. Nope.
Wow, and suddenly this 4th base is under fire here.
He needs to get a pylon up, man. Those are going to run in and get kills. Yeah, I'm in there. See ya, probes.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't remake the pylon or try to wall off with a gateway or something, but this is just allowing Mihu to get back in this.
Yeah, that's again a lot of damage. Luckily, Protoss already has a good probe count, especially at his 3rd base and natural. And he is still up 30 supply, so really good pickoffs from Mihu to kind of even out the game again. First, Wraith is out, so these drops will be shut down. This is what I was expecting to see earlier in the series, was the Wraith, because he's built it almost every game I had seen previously, and now we finally get to see it.
Yeah, it's great at defending these early drops, right, from Dewalt, and he has been so active with, you know, double, triple shuttle drops towards the mid and late game here. We are about a minute away, though, from that inevitable 14-minute mark where, you know, as you stated, Terran should be looking to move out here. There's no Arbiter. This is pure Gateway Man with Shuttle, you know, Reaver, Zealot once again. But, you know, it could be a little scary here for Dewalt.
Well, his 2nd armory wasn't spinning machines. You notice that? So he may have clicked weapon and armor, and only one of them actually started. And if the one that did not start his weapon, that's going to be a big loss for Terran. We've got another Zealot Reaver drop into the natural this time, trying to just buy time. But this is an expensive drop. Like, a Reaver is no joke. It costs a lot of money, and the shuttle dies too.
Yeah, the shuttle is, you know, another 200 minerals. It's also build time on that very important robotics facility, right? You can't be building observers. You can't be building additional Reavers while that's being built here. So this is maybe a little rough.
No, I still see that armory not spinning, and I'm guessing it was +2 weapon at this point. Yep, +2 weapon just finished. So does not have the 2-1, but still plus. Oh, Corsair shuttle. Okay, we're in there. Oh my gosh. And the storm.
Ooh.
Oh, does not get that many kills, but a storm on the high ground is pretty nice. Oh,
Yeah, that
another
was
one.
pretty
How does
good.
he have so many?
No
He's got double
way.
storm on that one too. Look at that. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Dewalt,
Well,
man.
that was
Making it
great.
happen.
That was insane. Now look at supply, 40 supply lead, but we know that still Mihu can work his magic with a lower worker count. Here he comes. He's got a lot of tanks.
Yeah, we're at the 15-minute mark. He wants to move out, it looks like. Dewalt on 5 bases, though.
Oh my god, do you see how much stuff that is? That is so many zealots. But Terran, here he comes.
Mines
Oh,
are already
no.
set up.
Yeah, the goons are actually way out of position. They're all at bottom right, and he needs them to help clear out. And Mihu, with it being close spawns, he's going to be able to reinforce his position easily. Oh, we may have another situation where
Counter?
Dewalt just gives up gives up bases, but this is a little different, because if you give up your natural and your third base and your rally point, that's huge. Oh, he may have caught him out of siege. This is
Here
what
we
all comes
go.
down to machine.
Mines being cleared. Shuttle moving in here. A little haphazardly, but does get a huge storm onto some Dragoons. Still, though, the neutral ground kind of blocking a lot of the Dragoons. And suddenly, Dewalt trying to engage onto high ground, it did not go his way at all there, Nyoken.
Dude, he's so nuts with the vultures and the tanks. Like, he just is so incredible with it. Now he's breached the Nat, which is breaching the rally point. He can siege down the third base. Dewalt did transfer a decent chunk of workers down the bottom right, but like these bases are not mined out, so this is a lot to lose.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot to lose. It's all of his production. You know, unlike the previous game, we don't have any gateways bottom right yet. He can only make units here, and they're just going to be stuck up his ramp.
I think Mihu's done it, because what can Dewalt do? Like, all he can do now is counterattack with what he has out on the map, but this is, what, 8 goons? Terran can just walk over here and kill this instantly. Dewalt still doesn't have, like, any gates at bottom right, so we may be going into Game 7 in just a second.
Yeah, I can't believe it, man. Everything about this game from the start was looking to be all Dewalt, but unfortunately, man, Mihu's just so quick about getting into position.
Dewalt
Don't tell
is
me
doing-
well. I don't know if my heart can take it.
He's doing a lot of damage with this drop, and that command center did die mid-left. Mihu's not like insta-reinforcing, right? So if Dewalt can, I don't know, that's just so much stuff, dude. That's so many tanks. That's what Mihu does better than anybody else. He ain't missing tanks. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's definitely not missing tanks. And look at the spread on them, right? Like, they are never clumped up. Oh,
Yeah, but he
turret
didn't reinforce
placement.
this position, and now these tanks are gonna die.
Well, I mean, yeah, they might actually fall here. Huh. That's going to allow Dewalt at least to get out of his base. Mid-right will fall here, though, no question.
Yeah, mid-right's definitely dead. The Nat being dead and the third base really hurts. And then also losing this fourth base, and there's a lot of probes there, too. So he's going to have to rebuild all those also. Dewalt is miraculously up in supply somehow, but I don't see an observer. Okay, there we go at the bottom. He needs to flank this, get rid of it ASAP before he loses the probes. Mihu, he needs to reinforce his position or
Ooh,
take a fourth
unsieged.
base. He unsieged! This is the moment!
Oh, didn't quite have enough for Storm there. And
Yep. It's just not enough. I think Terran may even have +3 weapon. Nope, not +3 weapon, but Arbiter came out, but there's just not enough on the ground anymore.
Yeah, and the placement, just the setup from Mihu, right? He's pre-setting mines from any flank locations. The tank spread is just perfect as well here.
Yeah,
I don't know,
crazy.
man.
Dewalt, he's got to make up his mind on what does he want to do. I don't really think he can do anything, and that was not it. He loses a ton of goons, and we may see GG any moment now. He's lost, oh my god, he eats a massive EMP. He's lost basically all of his bases.
Yeah, there's only mining going on bottom right now, and GG is called there from Dewalt. And I can't believe it, man. We are going to a game number 7 between these two on Nemesis after all that. Jeez.
Yeah, I thought actually Dewalt was going to win that big fight outside of the natural, but the spreading of the tanks and vultures, he's like none other, man. I have literally not seen any foreigner be able to do that. I've seen Terror lay mines like a crazy person like Mihu does, but no one comes close to this, not at all. And that's how he wins these fights.
You're saying the hold position control on the
whole
vultures
position.
there?
He never messes it up. I don't know if it's because he's not macroing behind it or what, but whenever I look at his money, it's always low. He's always got the right angle. He always lands the EMP. I don't know what it is. You know, he doesn't stream on Twitch or anything, so I can't watch. But he never messes it up. Never, ever.
Yeah, bizarre, man. And once again, it couldn't have been from a kind of a rougher start, right? We were almost questioning if Dewalt was just going to straight up end the game once he broke the third base with that initial, Reaver Goon timing with Zealot drops. But man, he once again just kind of hangs in there and continues to play and catches Dewalt out of position at a prime moment, man. So that was really good play once again from Mihu. And like we've been saying, man, you get your Nemesis game here. This is going to be bizarre. Obviously, this is going to be just... It is usually the map that is the first ban from either player in any matchup we've seen. So, for a Game 7 to come down to a PvT on Nemesis, man, I am excited to see how this one goes.
Yeah, this is a map that you really got to practice a lot on because of all the shenanigans that can go on. You're facing drops from Terran, hidden DT tech or proxy gates where you got to worry about the eggs being knocked down. Both players going to have to be really on top of their game here because of so much possibilities. And we may finally get a 12 Nexus, I'm hoping, but it's the last game of the series. I don't know if you risk it in the last game now.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you do, right? Obviously, Mihu is a formidable enough player to take you to a Game 7 position, right? It might be worth just changing anything up just to catch him off guard. So, obviously, that is Dewalt's decision to make here, but I'll be rooting for it, man. I hope we get to see a 12 Nexus.
Yeah, if we don't get 12 Nexus, I want to see somebody open Gasless or somebody go Stargate or something, because it's been Shuttle and Arbiter Man all day long, and then it's just been the same thing really for Mihu also, Tank Man with upgrades, which is fine, but we haven't seen the patent in 4-fac either. Just something different.
Exactly. I heard when Mihu was born, and he came out of the womb, he the first thing he told his mom was the build order for 4-fac TVP.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm surprised we haven't seen it here.
I'm also surprised too. I would have bet money at least for Mir here on his last life. I would have bet all my money that it would have been a 4 because he's so good at it. But this is our final game of the day. It is Game 7. It is Dewalt versus Mihu. Winner goes on to face Bonyth in the finals of BSL.
And spawning top left of Nemesis, Game 7 as the blue Protoss, it is Dewalt.
And in the top right, our Chinese Terran Hope, it is Mihu.
Mihu the Great.
Mihu the Great, man. This could be a drop game machine. We know he pulled it out on Circuit Breakers. Drops are really good on Nemesis. And anytime he's gotten vultures into any base, even if there's cannons or goons there, he racks up lots of probe kills. So Dewalt, I think his build on Odyssey where he went 2-gate ob, I think that's going to be a good follow-up for him, especially on a map like Nemesis.
Because there's just going to be so much to read, right? You have no idea how this is going to play out if you're Dewalt, especially given their positions already, right? Mihu's top right, Dewalt's top left. I feel like Terran pushing horizontally on this map could be very devastating.
Yeah, it definitely could be. And we do have, again, the normal racks opener, gate opener. So it's going to be another 12 gas versus 12 gas, or technically 11 gas from Dewalt.
I wonder if we'll see any kind of zealot pressure. It is a low ground main to a higher ground natural. And no gas!
Oh!
Did you get your wish?
Gasless, baby! I like this. I think this build is, when you're somebody like Mihu or somebody like Terror who just can macro like an absolute legend, these are the types of builds you want to mix in because this is super strong. And Mihu's set him up for it. He's defended the Zealot perfectly every game. And the past 2 games, Dewalt hasn't even risked building a Zealot. So if there's no Zealot, this is exactly what you want to do.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want to do if there's no Zealot here. At the same time, though, once it gets scouted here from Dewalt, he should know, he can feel free to kind of expand his own. There shouldn't be any kind of pressure early on from Mihu, so it'll be interesting to see the adjustment. Immediately, Dewalt diving on that SCV, building the command center at the natural here. Marine coming in to do a little damage of his own. This probe will be pushed off.
Yep, and he hid this. He thought he hid the Zealot, but I don't think Mihu actually noticed it. So Zealot is going to be moving out. And what? SCV not building an insta bunker?
He might be. Let's see.
Yeah, he needs to.
I think that's in time.
We have a run by machine.
But then you're running by into linebackers.
That's true, and Mihu's got impeccable control, so could be a mistake to do that, but it will definitely disrupt his build. And versus Gasless, just disrupting the build is great. Here we go. We're in there, machine. This is not turning around. We're going for it. And the lifted racks is fantastic for Dewalt because now he knows the Marine count is just 2. And now we've got to pull SCVs, and this is one way you deal with Gasless. Whether you kill SCVs or not, you just get in there, be annoying. Oh my gosh, those SCVs have already dealt a lot of damage.
Yeah, he pulled them at the perfect time. We haven't seen a single SCV fall here. Probe falls from Dewalt. And once again, man, Mihu just showing why you don't make Zealots against him early on. You're just feeding him,
Dude, I don't get it. His Rax is lifted, machine. What the heck is going on? Okay, there we go. He finally gets a kill. And yeah, this really didn't do the damage that he was looking for. Now, if that's 2 goons and he runs by again, this could actually be annoying. Oh my god, channeling his inner ghost to dark. If he gets behind the minerals, that would be fantastic.
He could get surrounded here, though. I don't know if I like the Dragoons sitting up on that high ground.
Yeah, I think this is okay. Okay, focuses that down. Oh, can he get that Marine? Oh, he gets it.
He does.
Oh, he gets caught, but he scrambles away. And he may lose this goon, but he's going to lose a lot of mining time with this. And also, Dewalt obviously, clicking like a madman, trying to figure out, okay, which SCV is low? Can I kill any of them? And he's found one of them. Goodbye. Can he get another one? No, he's not going to get another one, but range is kicked in. And that makes this, again, even weirder.
Yeah, this is bizarre. Dragoon is still taking shots from those Marines, though. Okay, looks like he will move back. That vertical bunker placement is the most difficult placement to find that Dragoon range onto a bunker here, so it's kind of working in Mihu's favor slightly, preventing some of this pressure.
Yeah, and we do have, again, the defensive opener from Mihu with the fact into eBay. Goon, okay, opening up the right side with that other Goon.
Yeah, I like that. He's just getting ahead of the inevitable, right? All Mihu has shown so far has been kind of that, early, 2 fact into maybe a 3rd command center armory, Stargate waiting for 2-1 before pressuring. So I'd expect Mihu, just based on the last games, to go for something similar here. But we'll have to wait and see.
Well, Dewalt is hiding his goons, and as Terran, if I'm seeing this, you got to know that the eggs are being opened up. But that makes you start worrying about, okay, is he opening up the eggs because he wants to get DT in faster? What's the purpose of this? But it's actually just going to be a 4 goon run by.
Oh, eBay scouts it though. Mihu just all over this, man. Meticulous scouting, pulls both the tanks. It might not be quick enough to prevent this from being opened up, though.
I don't think he can push in here. He has no idea what Terran has. He runs into a Terran that went mines. all those goons are just mega dead. I don't even think he can win this fight in general. 2 tanks, 3 marines. Well, okay, we'll see. Is he really going for that? That was a pretty clutch depot, I gotta say.
Yeah, eBay is being focused down very quickly as well.
He's gonna jump on him. That's 2 tanks. Okay, that's a smart backup. And Siege was rushed, so now we got to get the hell out of Dodge. I think we got to get the hell out of Dodge.
Leave. Oh no.
Oh, well, it's tanks on the low ground, so they don't connect all the time. So he's still gonna get 2 tanks here. Oh, just barely.
Yeah, barely gets 2 tanks. So I don't know. I'd call that a pretty even trade, right?
Yeah, I think that was a worthwhile trade for both sides. But losing 4 goons, that does matter versus somebody that opened gasless, and you know that he's a 4-fact timing pusher. He hasn't done it all series long. I think you got to really consider that this could be the game you finally face it, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, man, you called it as well. Nemesis seems to be the map that Mihu says, you know what? It's time to go back to old trusty. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's make a bunch of tanks, a bunch of vultures, and see how this one goes. Shuttle moving across the top side of the map, though. I believe that's a shuttle at 12 o'clock, looking to maybe drop the natural of Mihu.
Yeah, I like this. It's going to draw all the tanks out of position, and that means that the main is open. Okay, he's just going to pop this depot. I think that's smart. No need to risk that Reaver. He doesn't know what Terran's doing, and we haven't seen a 4-fact all series long, so really good decision here to save the Reaver instead of trying to suicide for SCVs.
Yeah, this Reaver is absolutely going to come in handy once he knows exactly what this build is. I mean, Reaver is the way to manage these early mid-game timings. Ooh, 5-fact.
I thought that was a 6-fact, but it is going to be 5-fact, still going to be strong. Armory I see is spinning, and I'm not sure actually the timing of that armory, but 5-factory regardless. This is a pushing build. This is not a transition into a 3rd base build, but it is Mihu, and you never know what he's really going to do.
For 52 months.
We don't see any vision of the entrance that's been opened up into the back of the main here for Mihu. He's got to be wary about any kind of counter pressure that could happen, and that's really how Dewalt's been playing anyway, right? He's been avoiding these timings, avoiding the army, and really just trying to make Terran feel very uncomfortable given the game state.
Yeah, I like this. Killing that 1 turret opens up the main, makes Terran be even more defensive. And okay, that is Citadel and Forge, and I think at this point, remember Dewalt didn't see a command center at the natural. He didn't see a command center like on the outskirts of the main. He may be able to figure out that this is a timing. Like Mihu's too passive at this point in not having a command center that I think he may have sniffed out that this is like a 5 or a 6-fact timing. But there's the starport coming down, so this could be just heavy units into an expansion or heavy units into 2-1.
Maybe he just doesn't quite feel comfortable, I guess, given where he's at.
He's just gonna wait for Terran to move out and insta counter attack the main. And that looks like the game plan here. And the Reaver, like he can just use the Reaver to clear out the mines. Oh, I think that actually connected.
Yeah, I think so too.
He can use the Reaver to clear out the mines and never actually show that. Oh, he sees it. Did he just move his observer out of position?
Yeah,
he just missed the entire army move, or all the vultures move at least.
Maybe the shuttle. I mean, we do see the shuttle moving back home. Maybe he is. Yeah, I think he knows it's coming somehow. He's pulling his army completely back, but I don't know if it's going to be in time. Nyoken, we're seeing so many vultures run into the natural here.
Yep, his nat got scanned, and he knows that there's nothing here to defend. Okay, Reaver unloads. So good move there from Dewalt to get back in time. I thought he's actually just going to die to the run by vultures.
Still, there's no vision of the force here from Mihu. All the vultures look to be bottom left. Plenty of mines out on the map, and there's not many observers for Dewalt.
Yeah, this is again another weird build for me, who's got 5-fact but not pushing with it, but his supplies are still even. Oh my gosh, that's a big hit right there, killing 3 goons for just 2 mines. Bottom left looks like that is not going to be able to be saved, or maybe it is.
Yeah, it's buying a lot of this vulture's time, it feels like. And I mean, this is kind of, I feel like, what Mihu wants to do. Now he's able to just kind of sit back and macro, really get up that tank count that he wanted before inevitably moving out here. Still no command center, so this is it, man. Mihu is unsieging, and he is fully dedicated to this next attack.
Well, he's got even supply. He's got +1 versus +0 of Protoss. Protoss doesn't really have a supply lead right now. He's gonna try. Oh my god!
You're kidding me.
He loses so many probes, and he's gonna lose a ton of goons.
Oh my gosh, that is just really unfortunate.
Reaver unloads.
One falls.
I think he lost one of them. He gets a big hit, but he needs more than this. Oh, he needs to get a Zealot on top of those tanks.
Yeah, Dragoons rallying in from the south side of the map, but it's not enough.
It didn't fire. Oh, it did fire. That's a huge hit. Holy smoke, those are huge hits. Those tanks are really softened up, but supplies have been swung in favor of Terran now. There's only 6 gate. There's no way Protoss can hold this now.
Yeah, just not enough unit production, it looks like, here for Dewalt. Command center has been started for that inevitable third base of Mihu. Mihu changing gears here. Looks like he wants to pressure the bottom left side of the map.
Well, if he's going to pressure here, he needs, again, just like in all the other games, he's got to get his army consolidated. Like, he has a lot right now. He's mining. Oh, we've got to drop into the main. This is what you got to do on Nemesis, and it's an open main. I think Mihu's got Dewalt where he wants him. He's just going to go for a counter. This is going to be the last-ditch effort of Dewalt. He's going to lose his bottom left base and his main at the same time.
It's only 3 tanks, though. There is a shot here, it seems like, for Dewalt to break, but he is taking massive eco damage in his main. That bottom left base is not long for this world as well. And here we go. Can Dewalt do it?
There's no ob, man. If there's no ob, there's no way. And he just... he's lost too many bases now. Terran is going to take a third base. These eggs were opened up. I don't even know what's in these shuttles. This base is dead. And we went from a Protoss having 4 bases to having almost every single base shut down in an instant.
Yeah, this was just a great move out here from Mihu.
It's still alive in the main, man. This was a sick move from Mihu. Obviously, the mine was amazing during the transfer. Now, okay, maybe if he can get the tanks while they're all focusing the Nexus, but he can't. And the mine's just dealing so much damage because there's no observer in this army either.
At the same time, Dewalt just has to hang on here, right? This is really one of his few mining bases left. He, makes the sacrifice he has to get this base back up and running. But the pressure is off now for Mihu, and he's able to take his own third base, get out on the map with another massive group of vultures here, and the floodgates have really been open.
Yeah, this game is done. The goons are out of position. It's Nemesis. It's hard to get them in position regardless. And we have tanks and vultures knocking at the doorstep with a 40 supply lead. Protoss is basically mining. Oh my god, that Reaver is just going to move to its death. I think it's off a good shot, but there's nothing left really for Dewalt.
No obs once again. I mean, the vultures have just done so much damage this game with their constant mine harass. He's on a whole other base mining, up in supply as we stated, and it looks like Mihu has done it.
Yep, there's a reason he's called Mihu the Great, and you're seeing it right here. He's about to eliminate one of the biggest threats in the BSL. All Dewalt can do is counterattack. The Reaver is not going to be enough. Those are heavily upgraded Goliaths and tanks. Vultures and SCVs are going to clean this up. And once this gets taken down, that's it.
Yeah, really, I mean, he's just fighting for his life here. Trying to prevent any more mining at the third, but yeah, there's not enough Protoss here from Dewalt.
Yep, Shuttle Man is going to fall, and once the shuttles are gone, that's all of BSL's, or all of a whole. God, that's a massive hit. If Dewalt had more bases and more units, that could be what he needed, but not the case, and that means Mihu, in one of the best series in all of BSL, he reigns supreme.
Yeah, man, Mihu the Great coming out with a 4-3 victory, very narrow victory over Dewalt. You said it from the start, man. This guy just doesn't know how to lose TVP. I was so glad to see, that mid-game timing finally out of Mihu, showing he still has what it takes, and he's obviously still a major threat to win the BSL this season.
Yeah, an almost unstoppable force in TVP, but he clutched it in the final 2 games, getting back-to-back wins, and that sets us up for an epic finals. We've got the King versus the great one here. It's going to be Bonyth going for like his 6th championship
Something
of BSL,
like that, yep.
but Mihu going for like his 3rd out of 4 seasons.
Yep, 3rd in a row, 2, or no, I guess maybe not. But yeah, still 3rd already, and he hasn't been competing nearly as long. So yeah, man, that's going to be another epic PVT. But obviously, Dewalt really showing up once again this season, walking away with a big 3rd place. He is such a threat, and I can't state enough how close this series was and how close, especially Game 6, we were to Dewalt walking home with the big W today, man. I know there's plenty of his fans tuning in here and cheering him on, and he had one hell of a season.
Yeah, he definitely represented the European scene and the Protoss race very well. Like, those games were absolutely epic. Vermeer game, when he busted the 3rd, I thought he had him. Like, that's it. I'm a Terran player. I know this can't be recovered. But Mihu, he's too strong, dude. Like, this guy, he just ridiculous TVP. I don't get it. I mean, I get the vultures and the tanks control, and that's why he's so good. But it's like, it doesn't seem like he can actually ever die. Like, you gotta outright, you gotta get the killing blow, man. If he survives with 1 tank, he's not out of it. Like, the Sylphid game is the epitome of that. Like, he had 17 supply, and he was still not dead.
Yeah, we were still thinking it was questionable, right? It literally had to come down to him having nothing that shoots air, where we're like finally feeling safe with calling the game. But yeah, man, Mihu is such a major threat. I'm so excited to see how he lines up facing off the King, Bonyth, man, who has such a wildly different style of PvT, even from Dewalt. So very excited to see that. And for those of you who are looking forward to it, it will be next weekend. Will be the BSL16 finals, folks. And I believe it's a best of 9 between those two. So an even more extended series here for the grand finals of BSL this season. And man, I'm definitely going to be tuning in.
Yeah, I think both players are going to get 1 additional map pick. It'd be crazy if they pick Nemesis in Odyssey and we get 4 games of that. That'd be wild. I don't know if we're going to get a 5-4, but I hope we do, because this series, incredible. And you know that the finals most likely going to be even better than that. And like you said, Bonyth plays a completely different style, but it would be very interesting to see, okay, is Bonyth the Mihu killer with the carriers? Or does it not even matter what Protoss plays? Does it matter at all? Can he just kill everybody?
Yeah, I mean, that's really what we've seen from Mihu so far, right? He's just so buttoned up. He's not a player to cut corners, skimp on, defending the main, defending the 3rd. Has that incredible vulture control that nobody else seems to have, in the scene from other Terran players. So, yeah, man, I'm very excited to check that one out. But yeah, folks, before we sign off for the day, we gotta thank our Patreon and supporters here. So obviously, first and foremost, thank you to OptiMonk, who is the sponsor of BSL16 for this season. At the Bombastic General level, big thank you to Starlover and ya boy, Nyoken.
Yeah.
At the $50 a month level, we have Striker, Believe in Zero, My Fleeting Dream, Rev, and Hashed Fuzzy. Thank y'all. At the $30 a month level, Tim, we have Cause, Tupocalypse, Robert Groot, and Nientech. And at the $20 a month level, we have Circata, On My Way, Gordon Bradley, KJ, Daniel Lopez, LML, ya boy, Quark, Steven Robertson, Mr. Cat, Andre Nicolescu, Duvaz, and Medinho joining the ranks. So yeah, and thank you all so much for your support, even at the $2 level. Every single donation goes so far to helping BSL season over season. We also had some big donations for today as well. So thank you all so much for your support once again, folks. That's it for us, man. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun, and thanks to Zero once again for making this whole shindig happen. And thanks to my boy Nyoken for commentating with me.
Yep, I enjoyed it. Machine games were epic, I gotta admit, and I'm looking really forward to next week because I'm sure they're gonna be just as good.
Yep, they should be, man. So yeah, stay tuned. Next week will be the grand finals of BSL 16, and we'll see you then. Take it easy.